do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer of the Week podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Play Alberta Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. The cracker 6 o'clock, I'm logging with some sirloin bites.
Great Monday morning to you. Welcome back to another installment of the Nielson Show, kicking off another week here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta, our title sponsor. Codes EST Sports, EST Casino gets you a $50 free bet for the month of November, so hop on that right now. Lieutenant Eric and Dave Jameson in for Dustin Nielsen, YouTube Trev, keeping you up to date on the show this morning. Big good morning. Wherever you're listening and or viewing today, the iHeart Radio app, the TuneIn Radio app, the Source, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, 95.7 Cruise FM, and of course with the visual accompaniment on our YouTube channel, Edmonton Sports Talk. Sub to the channel.
We're chasing subs all day long.
And
Subs and doms.
Subs and doms today.
Subs and doms all day.
And pound that thumbs up. Let's hit, it is a game day. Mm-hmm. Oilers road trip continues, so hit that thumbs up. Win over the weekend. They don't ask how, Dave. They just ask how many.
How many?
And it was
Yes,
another
that's
2
true.
points in the bag for the Edmonton Oilers in Raleigh.
Can't stop a train.
And funny you mentioned that, Dave, because the Nielsen Show is brought to you by Weiss Johnson and Train, Edmonton's train home comfort specialist for nearly 50 years. Visit weiss-johnson.com for more. Weiss Johnson and Train. It's hard to stop a train. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. You can get in touch with us either in that YouTube Nasty Chat, which is rolling this morning, or the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Check them out online, parisjewelers.com, or in one of their many locations in and around Edmonton, West Ed Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert Center. And, of course, text of the day today, the best text will be taking home $20 to Royal Pizza. Royal Pizza still making it great. Best and freshest ingredients you'll find. Not just the pizza.
No.
Good wings, good salad. And, Dave, I did dine in a couple months back. Great soup.
Yeah, and great people.
The people do make it.
Yes.
Yeah. We actually, we sat, there's the dining room restaurant portion, and then there's kind of the lounge. We went into the lounge, and they had a young gentleman. He was a trainee.
Yes.
And he was serving us. Great job. And then his supervisor came over, and there was an issue with the debit machine.
Okay.
And they both worked it out. The service was top-notch.
It's always the people, Eric.
Royal Pizza, still making it great, both in your mouth and at your table. RoyalPizza.ca, or one of their 14 locations in and around Edmonton. Weekend, good? I mean,
Well, of course.
One more day And then Dustin returns. Everything goes back to normal.
Yes,
I know it's been a slog here. Yeah.
No, it's just not been a slog.
3 more hours.
Pure joy getting up at this hour and being with you guys and being with the Nasties. No.
And you're usually up anyways.
Yes,
So you
well,
listen to the show
thereabouts,
religiously.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're a sub.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Not a dom. I'm a sub. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's been great.
Yeah. No, Dustin, of course, he had the call. Well, he did the call alone last night.
I'm
He'll
the
be back
only
tomorrow.
one that listened to the radio of this group. I mean, I watched the television, right, the big flat screen, but
as much as it was on, right? Before.
Do we know why? And this is not the first time a Grey Cup has glitched on TSN.
Okay.
In fact, we lost it, and maybe that was the area of town I was in at the time. I had to listen to the recent Grey Cup entirely on the radio. To Nielson's call, which is fine.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. No, I listened to Dusty last night on the end with Lapo, or what was left of him.
What was left of him? Which
Man.
one of our guests this morning apparently had something to do with that.
We'll get into it. Jeff Hamilton,
I think
right?
that's where we hit him right between the eyes.
Jeff, let's
what did you
start
do
there.
to Lapo?
Yeah.
But yes, Dustin Nielson will be back tomorrow. So will Matthew Iwanek, who again, we all talk about Dustin doing the radio call, but Matt Iwanek took in Grey Cup 112 as I didn't see him too much on the socials. Of course, he refused to join us Friday because he was tweeting at the time he could have
Well, he's
joined
a
us. He
team
was
guy.
up, but he didn't want to come on the air. So I don't know. Matty will be back as well. Hopefully their flight. I mean, given the flights, I'm sure that'll all be. Dave Naylor's hopping on a plane this morning. I don't know how he's getting out of there. I thought it was Monday morning.
TSN charter.
They've set the PJ for the nail gun.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, gotta love it. 780-218-9999. Dr. J in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Trev
Julius.
living that Grey Cup life. Were you living the Grey Cup life? What did you...
Yeah, what did Trev do? What did
Dr.
you
J.
consume
Who
this
said
game?
that? Who? Dr. J. Where is that? In the nasty chat?
Paris Jewelers inbox. Trev, 780-218-9999.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, just stayed home yesterday, just watching that one. It was good. I had a lot of fun just by myself. It was a recovery day for me, not going to lie. I kind of...
Oh, a little load management.
I had a
were
little
you?
fun Friday.
Yesterday?
I had even more fun Saturday night. But, no one really wants to hear my...
Kingsway BP.
Yeah. And then bowling.
We're good
Well,
things
then
happen.
Westgate
As per
BP.
usual.
I saw him there, too. We were there for the GCL
dipped.
Diesel Oil Stream pregame show and postgame show. Tom Gazzola and Joaquin Gage. And Reno Gazzola's 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Reno.
Paulie was there. Good crowd.
It was a big night. Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah, I double dipped with Boston pizzas.
Tony.
And then, Tony. of
Tony
course. Tony was there having
living
a good old
for the
time.
city.
But no one wants to hear about my Grey Cup day. Everyone wants to hear about yours, LT. Let's go.
Let's go. Nobody wants to hear about it. I have a job to do, and we're
Come
damn well
on.
going to do it.
Celebrate.
It's Oilers game day. Well, no, this is a professional. You know this.
No. Everyone wants
I
to.
have family. I have friends. I have well wishers outside of this building that I
wanna
do my
talk
thing.
Sabres.
But we're not here to. I'm not here to tap dance and for your sick entertainment.
Come on, please.
Please,
We're asking for it. How was it? That was
good.
awesome.
It was good. Yeah, it was a
Yes.
good game. We'll talk about the game. We'll do a
we'll
full
get into it.
recap.
We'll
the stats,
bust
the
it.
numbers, the lines, all that. The good, the bad, and I think 3 Down Nation said the disgusting or the. I mean,
dumb.
again,
The dumb.
Andre Proulx.
Well,
Things
You
kind of
know.
got away when they're getting introduced for the game and the hat's already on jaunty with the hair coming down and it's like cold but he's still sweating for some reason. You know it's going to be a long
we're in
one.
for a Proulx.
We're in for a treat.
We're in for a Proulx. Did
Classic
you get
Proulx.
Yes.
Yeah. We also have Week 11 in the NFL draft. So lots going on. But this show, I think, a balanced diet for everything.
All the nutrients.
Well, look, peep this.
Okay.
We'll go over the morning announcements here. As I mentioned, Grey Cup recap. We will get through that. And then no more CFL talk till the free agency window.
Till camp opens.
We won't. But we'll do that this hour. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend, which I think you could pull maybe a few things from last night as well, or the Oilers, or Week 11 in the NFL. We could do a good, bad, and ugly for the Oilers.
Oilers are back.
The NFL and the
They're
Grey
so
Cup.
back.
Well, again,
Okay, no, anybody with me?
to quote the captain, they're slugging through a tough stretch, but they're still collecting points.
Well,
And right now, they're
captain, my captain.
if you can do this during a downtime.
Think what you do when you're hot. Super hot.
Darren Dreger will be by at 7:05. He's our EST hockey insider for GS Construction, so we'll get his thoughts on the Oilers. And, American Thanksgiving approaches. does he sense, or can he? I want to find the wording properly. When it comes to the
workshop
is
now.
Is it just guys returning off the IR and then guys either getting sent down to the farm and or waived as Troy Stetcher's season no more?
Now a Leaf,
R.I.P.
right? Now
Well, yeah.
Toronto Maple Leaf in good standing.
And that's a busy
Canada's
That's a
team.
busy blue line room there for old Stetch. I don't know if he. But if I want to get Dreger's sense on if fans can maybe expect management to perhaps try and swing a deal.
I know where you're going.
Swing a deal. And I want to
Is Stan going to be the man?
do you think
And lean
maybe?
in hard
I don't
to-
know.
Okay,
we
well.
talked about it. It's going to be tough.
I think you guys are going to regret this. I think Skinner's going to play his way back into the good graces of oil country.
You're a sick man.
I am.
Play Alberta early bird special as well. We'll take a dive into the NFL. Look at how about this Monday night? I mean, not only do you get Oilers Sabres tonight, Dave, but Cowboys Raiders on Monday Night Football to
Yep,
wrap Week 11
throwback.
from Vegas.
Al Davis versus Jerry Jones.
It's from Las Vegas, and we will be qualifying somebody tonight. You can join me, Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road for the Cowboys, Raiders, and the Oilers Sabres. We will take our last qualifier into a draw for a trip for two to Vegas. That draw is made Thursday back at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. So it's a good deal if you can get in, if you can qualify. There's only like a handful of qualifiers over Sunday, Monday, and Thursday
You have to
for
be
like
there
a month.
to win.
You have to be there Thursday.
You have to be
they'll
there
let you know.
Thursday.
They'll give you a
Okay.
courtesy call and say you have to come down. But if you
come down.
qualify,
Yes.
it's you have like a 1 in 15 shot. So it's not bad. All expenses paid. Raiders, Broncos in Vegas. Come take a swing at that later tonight at the Sellies. Mike Tanier.
I like him.
You know, we all know Mike.
Oh, yeah.
NFL analyst, great guy. Two deep zone. He'll be by. He may already be in the green room. Mike likes to join extremely early, and then Trev will kind of put him on, and he watches the show. He's a fan, you know. He's a nasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
So he'll be by at 7:45. Full recap of the Week 11 slate and setting up the Monday nighter tonight. Kind of easy trivia. 46-0. In the 95.7 Cruise FM era, of course, $25 to Mr. Mike's will be on the line there. 3 questions to Minnie. Again, if you have any questions for Dave specifically, get him in. Might be your last chance until Dustin returns from Grey Cup with a respiratory cold, and then next week that you have to.
How long was he out before? Was it 2 months?
Well, last year was, and it was Halloween because Trev had to draft for him in a Halloween draft,
Right.
and then it was like Halloween to like mid-November.
It was just
it was a month. Like
yeah,
it was
just over a month.
yeah.
I was
Didn't
crazy.
do any work in the office. Was completely gone.
He was
Lost his
down.
voice. He was down for the count.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you get mentally, like it was kind of a.
Oh yeah.
it was
he
a
was
bad
thinking,
one.
how am I going to make my how am I
sleep.
going to make my rent? One of those.
He pays Tammy. She. like,
She's the landlord.
yes, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of telling a little too much here. Orange and blue breakfast to get you set as well for Oilers and Sabres. Tonight, as the show will kind of shift into what's going on tonight in that third hour. Jeff Hamilton, who has confirmed, we had him penciled in for 7:30 Mountain. I said, would you like to join an hour later on Grey Cup Monday?
But, oh, yeah,
He
I
goes, even better. He also says, likely going to need to do a phone or two. Video not my friend today.
Okay. We know where that went.
So, and I mean, when it comes to Paul Appolice's condition, look,
The spirit of Edmonton.
hey,
Gotcha.
Did you see the
Touchdown Manitoba.
the
Gotcha.
industrial vats of sluice juice that like Jerry Haraxi was?
Oh.
Like it was like a drum that you'd find at a big huge containers of an exhausting, and then they need to like let the pressure out because it was such like at the top they had a small man up top.
It's more scientific than you'd think.
Yes, it's
Really,
just
I mean,
juice
you're
and
just pouring
vodka,
a
but I
bunch
mean,
of- bunch of vodka into orange juice.
yes, but
What
you don't want to blow the place
there's
up.
a process.
Yeah, it looked like a hell of a time from the
Always
spirit
is.
of the egg. So Jeff Hamilton out of Winnipeg will join us to wrap Grey Cup. Both in the stands on the field, kind of a both. I want to get his sense on the partying and everything like that. A lot of FOMO, they call it, fear of missing out. And
Winnipeg was the big winner.
well, sure, monetarily, I think.
Yes.
Seemed like a good weather was fine. Everything,
Oh, yeah, it was
everything
all
happened. Everything happened good. Everybody was nice. Marmot Basin Snow Report, Sully's Pick'em, where you can get a chance at winning $25 to Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. And the wrap for William Huff, all the way in number 3. That's your Monday morning Nielsen show. As I promised you, a balanced diet. We got a little hockey. We got a little football of both varieties today.
Okay.
Recapping it all.
Let's go.
So that's good. 780-218-9999. Nasty Chat is humming. Was a good Grey Cup. My head is sore. Pat Janik says. Big Maple says dance monkey dance.
Whoa, huh?
Penner's Pancake says morning all with a cup of coffee. I like that.
Wasn't Dance Monkey a big hit, and then they had to change the title or edit it or something?
That was the
Who was that? Trev, you know this stuff. He doesn't know. It's not country. Trev doesn't acknowledge it. Dua Lipa. I'm just
don't
go
distract
there?
me here.
Okay.
Don't distract me here.
All right.
If there's one. Dustin did a great job hosting Grey Cup Saturday as well.
Sure did.
John Ashton, Alberta says, yeah, no, that was him. It was him, AK, and
Aaron Korolnik.
And Lapo was
Yeah,
on
I
there.
think he went up
before.
Maybe that's where he scorched his voice.
Before he.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You know what?
I've been there. I've been there.
Text of the day today for Royal Pizza, Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Maybe it's your Paul LaPolice
Impression?
No, but just how the voice got to how he got there.
How many of our listeners would have listened to the radio broadcast?
I'd say a fair
I
handful.
had a couple of friends text me saying, "Hey, it's pretty
and
cool to hear
just fans
Dusty
of Dustin."
on Chat.
Yeah, fans of Well, that was funny.
Yeah.
I think Mark Michaud had the tweet of the night on MCTV.
Okay.
It was a picture of Shane McMahon with a WCW. I mean, it was just if you know, you know. But I mean,
Damn it, Shane.
I'm going to retweet that right now at Lieutenant_Eric. Fergie's prostate. Riders win the cup. I go under the knife tomorrow. Never mind a conch. Can I get the damn GC to Royal Pizza? I'd even take an old crumpled one to Mr. Mike's.
Do we know, or should I know
Fergie's
the
prostate.
nature of the surgery?
It's a knee.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. It's the knee.
It's a knee.
the knee. Okay.
Yeah, so Fergie, we wish you well. Never mind the conch. Can I get the damn GC to Royal? Sorry, I got the feed going here. I wanted to give Fergie a proper send-off here.
Fergie, do your exercises.
Oh, he'll need the band for rehabbing. Maybe even a didgeridoo for the old boy. What did you do for Grey Cup then? I did.
You did invite,
But I didn't invite you for the full game.
No,
I
no,
just
no.
said. I let it be known. I just said if you want to stop by for a bit.
But you had me on a pitch count. It was very, very clear. Just come by for a little bit, but don't stay.
Preferably pregame.
Yes.
Yeah,
and only just for a little bit.
There's a beer with your name on it and a high stool.
Get out.
Yeah, and then
Get out.
you can get out of there.
Just watched.
Yeah.
Watched, listened, and took notes.
And you will.
I'll
got
share
them here
some
today.
of them. Yeah,
I can't wait. Now this is like an air check.
I wouldn't have run that play.
Oh, for the
those.
coordinators. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were doing the broadcast there,
Yeah.
but which again left a little me wanting more.
We're not going there.
No, we're not.
Not right now.
I will not do that.
No.
No. So whatever. I mean, look, whether it was a spotty, what do you think of the commish too getting booed, Stewart? Hey,
Well,
getting the Bettman treatment now. Hey?
Man's game.
Man's
you
game.
You want to play? You want to play in that sandbox? You're
And
going to
did-
get booed, my friend.
And did he cancel the fan meeting? Like they always doesn't he?
Oh, was there a meeting?
It's by another one of the long-standing traditions is the commish holding
you
court.
go out and you have a beer.
Holding
and-
court. Well, then it's like it's a casual talk. He comes down from the podium and they just kind of like
Right.
with select fans from every market. Like
Oh,
it's kind of
hand chosen.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
your
curated.
representatives.
Yeah, I've seen those.
But it was
Yes, I've been
canceled. He
part of that.
canceled it
Oh, did he say,
this year.
I ain't going out into the general population?
Feeling the heat. Gen Pop. He's got to get that detail that, we won't go into any of the other. We will leave it there. No, it was a good Grey Cup. I mean,
Can I say this?
Yeah.
And I know we're going to close the chapter on the
We will.
CFL and we'll move on
We will,
to Owen
we will.
Power and the Buffalo Sabres here in a minute and all that's holy about the NHL. The CFL doesn't have a football problem. It doesn't have an entertainment issue.
where are you going here?
Well, I'm not going anywhere I haven't been before. And I guess that's why I understand even more the Peter Diakowskis and the people I listened to in the CJME postgame show last night calling in. You know, the game itself was largely fine. And I mean largely, like almost entirely fine. Could it be improved? Hell yeah.
We could also go over a few NFL games that maybe could have been improved. But yeah, I get your point.
There was a barrel of crap in the NFL yesterday.
yeah.
Like, don't be confused
I
here.
know. Yeah. No, I think the presentation of it, I've always said, you could have a marbles tournament in the United States, and if you have
it would draw a
NBC,
crowd.
CBS, and the whole bit, I mean, it would be the best. It would be the hottest thing in the world of sport ever.
Joe Buck
you
or
would
Troy
be.
Aikman calling.
It's got to be. Oh, it's got to be good. Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's what leaves me. I know we're on the same page of this. I don't need to convince you, nor do you have to convince me. But I mean, it was a game in which it came down to the wire. I think it was a classic. There were moments in it. There wasn't a lot of BS, and that's what I kind of wanted in a champ. You don't want to walk away from saying, "Oh yeah, well that or this or that." And I know Davis Alexander was trying to make the hamstring a thing, like. But I mean, okay, if you're not healthy,
it wasn't until it was.
But as Jason Moss said, everybody at this stage of the game
is hurt,
and you've been around football.
Yes.
Everybody's dealing with something.
If you're not hurt,
and if you're too hurt, then don't play.
Right. No one is healthy going into that game.
No, but you can't make it as an excuse because now MBT. Well, he could have. If you're, so
look,
I'm not
the
buying
right
any of
team
that.
won. The best team won.
Pillar to post.
I will always throw my support behind Jason Moss, whatever it is he's doing or wherever he's coaching. But the right team held high that trophy.
Corey Mace making a name for himself too, and it's good to see in a league with Moss having the success he's had. Mace also having the success he's had in the multiple roles and wearing different hats. Spruce Grove Chad, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. LTE, he says, I'm shocked you're at work. He spells you're wrong. Congrats on your 4th ever Grey Cup. It is the 5th. And then he says, go Bombers go. So thank you, Spruce Grove Chad. Spelling errors and a
Forgiven.
tough count on there from a Bombers fan. I don't want to. I'm not going to be.
It is,
as I said, I'm not
it is
doing that
still
today.
a little surprising that the Riders have not won more than 5.
How so?
Well, because they've had some very good teams.
They have Western champions and
Western
such.
champions.
Not getting over the line. There are teams as well in the NFL that haven't won a Super Bowl. And it's just, that's the beauty of sport, I think, hey?
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the thing.
Winning.
Okay.
Winning, yeah. When you,
All right.
no, I mean, yeah, the Argonauts can have however many they have, but I mean, I'll take 1 as opposed to 10 in that, yeah, get your texts in 780-218-9999. And you might be off to Royal Pizza today if it's not Fergie's prostate. I don't know if we give text of the day to somebody getting a knee operation. And that's tomorrow.
Well, it
operations
seems like
tomorrow, not today.
I'm trying to put together a depth chart of things that I would reward something or award somebody. Like surgery, I think would be something I'd go.
Yeah, but now
okay.
people are going to be like, "Hey, I'm getting a tooth removed today. Give me the we're opening a box.
That's why we have a
Pandora
command
box.
center. We go upstairs to review these things,
And it just takes us upstairs. We don't even ask. We don't need to ask. It's straight up there. Actually, I'll say this.
Yes.
There was 2 of those calls last night. And they're probably both the right calls in the end.
Yeah, they worked.
There was the Rough Rider, the horse collar roughing.
Yes.
He was out of the pocket. And then the pass interference on
Right.
the Alouette player there.
So
So,
the legal system worked in that moment.
yes, which when things like that work, you are scared that now they're going to implement it even more moving forward, maybe in being like,
Well, we're going to get more of it.
We're going to get
Rick, we're going to get
Yeah,
more
yeah.
of that stuff in the game. Don't worry about that.
And speaking of officiating, I mean, again,
Yes.
going to the NFL yesterday.
Wow. How is the best
What does
league in
PI
the
mean to
world?
you? What does PI mean to you?
It's a loose thing.
It's a loose
Eric.
term. Yeah, we'll ask Mike Tanier on that
Magnum
one.
PI.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And when do we get those Chinese robots I've been hearing so much about? Hey, is it? We can't be that far away.
Chad GPT.
I do like the CFL being the last league to still have like flesh and bone officiating.
Right.
Like
with all of the problems
Our
that go
balls
with
are
flesh
bigger, our fields are wider, and our officials are human.
Yeah.
Put it on a shirt, $20.
Deal with our mistakes.
Take my money today.
The mistakes are charming.
Yeah. We'll get to a sports update in a minute. But Trevor, Grey Cup, you were at home?
I was at home yesterday. Yeah, I had a little too much fun the
That's right,
previous
yeah.
night, so I felt like just taking it all in by myself, which is exactly what I did. Went and got some hot chocolate before the game, and that was what? It was good. I mean, man, I was craving hot chocolate like
old are
crazy
you?
yesterday.
Yes.
I'm 27, just turned 27.
27.
And then
get a hot chocolate.
And then I made some chicken wings, watched the game, Yeah, it was fun. It was a good game. I was thinking of LTE. I wanted to text him every second of the game, but I knew I was like,
please don't.
No. But
My phone was charging in the kitchen. I didn't have it on me.
But as soon as the game was done, I fired you a text there, buddy. I was so happy.
You did. You sent me
whole
3
family.
party hats.
Yes, I did. And so I loved the photos that you were uploading, man. My smile was just, because as I've been on the receiving end of losing recently, the Jays and Oilers and whatnot, it's nice to
the pain.
have someone
the pain
win
of it all.
something. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was happy, man.
Living
I was really
vigorously.
happy for you.
27-year-old long-suffering.
Long-suffering.
man.
Yep.
Yes.
Grumpy Cat says, I've never won text of the day and probably never will. Sad face, just saying. Again, now we have people
That
placated.
might be
Well, he's
text
playing
of
for
the
the.
day.
It's playing for the.
That's all right.
The
Playing for the
sympathy
cheap
here.
laughs. I get it.
We'll come back. We will wrap Grey Cup. Dave Jameson and I in for Dustin Nielsen. We'll dive into the guts of this thing, rip up the intestines, the long and the short. Is this a little too graphic for you?
No, not at all. That
we're gonna
might
be
get text of the day.
removing a kidney.
Yeah.
And I probably, if you want to add a liver joke in there as well, that puppy's quivering.
That works.
That works. So we'll dive into Grey Cup, recap that. Also, Jeff Hamilton, hour 3, will provide us a guest's point of view as well from Grey Cup 112, in which the Riders taking it over the Montreal Allouettes 25-17. A sports update here right now with YouTube, Trev. It's for Paramount Flooring. Looking for quality flooring? Visit Paramount Flooring's spacious, family-friendly showroom. Open 7 days a week. Call 780-483-1991. Mention EST for 10% off.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are your 2025 Grey Cup winners after defeating the Alouettes 25-17. Trevor Harris threw for over 300 yards while Tommy Stevens punched in a pair of touchdowns in the win. This is their first Grey Cup in 12 years and 5th in the franchise history. Just 5 games in the NHL last night. Penguins blanked the Predators 4-0. Canucks stormed back with 6 unanswered goals over the Lightning. 6-2 is the score in that one. The Wild defeat the Golden Knights in overtime 3-2. Red Wings double up on the Rangers 2-1, and the first place Avs beat the Islanders 4-1. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers hit the ice in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Be sure to tune in to the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola and Benny Thompson starting at 4 o'clock. Puck drop at 5 other games around the league tonight, including the Canucks taking on the Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens in Columbus playing the Blue Jackets. 8 games in the association last night and 8 games on the NBA slate tonight, where the Raptors take to the court against the Hornets. The Raps look to win their 4th straight. Tip-off at 5:30. Jalen Hurts rushed in 1 touchdown as the Philadelphia Eagles handled the Detroit Lions 16-9 on your NFL Sunday Nighter. Week 11 wraps up tonight as the Raiders host the Cowboys. You can catch all the action with Lieutenant Eric live at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge inside Century Casino Fort Road. Enjoy loaded burger specials, free heated underground parking, and your next chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to see the Broncos take on the Raiders in Vegas. Back to hockey, where the first place Oil Kings cannot be stopped after winning both games over the weekend, putting their win streak now up to 8. They don't hit the ice again until Tuesday when they play in Penticton. The Sports Update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Looking for quality flooring? Visit Paramount Flooring's spacious, family-friendly showroom. Open 7 days a week. Save now on pet-friendly Shaw carpet with spill-proof lifeguard technology on sale until November 17th. Call 780-483-1991 and mention EST for 10% off. From YouTube, Trev, you're up to date.
Open up your morning light. Say a little prayer for I. You know that if we are to stay alive, then see the peace in every eye. One was 3 in the war of 44. Every telephone ring, every heartbeat stinging when she
6:35. That's a little Grey Cup music there for you. I think Paula Cole supplanting Trooper now in terms of how many times we heard that banger during last night's television broadcast. If you were watching Grey Cup 112, Lieutenant Eric Dave Jameson in for Dustin Nielsen, who is not canceled. Burglar asking if Dustin's been canceled. I guess cancel cultures.
Oh, it's rampant.
Yeah.
No, he's working.
He's working. He's got his job.
Doing the CFL on TSN.
Job at the mothership. He'll be back tomorrow. Also, Matt Iwanek will be back tomorrow. Let it not be forgotten on that as well.
Iwanek told me the price of flying out, was it last night or today, was just unconscionable getting out of Winnipeg. The price of flights.
I would have taken the train. Via rail. And because it's
that's effective and efficient travel,
well,
which I love.
It would take a while, but the price, if you're bitching about price, I mean,
No.
and you can see your country, Dave. You go off the main route, off the highway, have a few stops.
Get out, observe, and protect.
If it's money, that's the problem. There are options, Matthew. 780-218-9999 is the number to text. Once again, Fergie's prostate getting that knee surgery tomorrow. He goes, I'm sorry I asked about the GC. So,
well, Bernie Kosar is going to get a liver transplant this morning.
Take that, Fergie.
So if you didn't see that news, former Cleveland Browns star.
There's a few also news in this. Naylor, 5-year extension with the Mariners.
Yeah.
Kempe's extension with the Kings. There are other. Yes. And as I mentioned, we'll get through the Grey Cup here rather quickly and then go on with the rest of the sport. Hour one of the Nielsen Show, should mention as well, brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialists. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project. 3 Edmonton area locations, plus you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. That's EWEL, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. And we are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Get your week off to a solid start. 3-piece bone-in chicken for just $8. Visit popeyeschicken.ca for more details. So, Grey Cup 112. Again, we start. Somebody mentioning Dustin on the Grey Cup Saturday broadcast. That's fine. They're at the Fan Fest, kicking field goals, and Lapo's diving into a foam pit. But then you go into Grey Cup Sunday. The coverage kicks off with a rather hungover James Duthie. Out in his suit.
Was James hung?
He didn't look too good early on.
But
maybe it was
had
just...
he not come from the Hockey Hall of Fame, or was that earlier in the week?
Well, you can...
Well,
they party there, too.
I just asked.
They party there, too.
Sure, yes, they do.
It was a long day for him. A long day for one Zach Collaros as well, having to be on the panel for that. You could tell that he was itching. Although I didn't mind. He did not a bad job. I would have him on there again.
And I say this not to suck up to the Bell Media overlords, but the broadcast has improved appreciably this year in terms of the look of the broadcast.
That pregame,
graphics, the whole thing, like it just
not necessarily the in-game.
No, I mean that largely. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Well,
but I think that but I think that they've done a real good job of kind of freshening up that old.
Did you know that Sam Emilus used to grow up watching S.J. Green? And that's why he's got the number. Did you hear that?
A couple of times,
on the broadcast?
And then it got repeated.
Yeah, well.
That nugget. Yeah.
So you had Grey Cup pregame during the day and all those things, Collaros there and Luke Wilson. Then we get to the game, the fanfare around it, 4 o'clock. Then I see the ticker down 55 minutes to kickoff. I'm like, oh, well, so it gives you a little extra time to get a little more lubricated. OLP.
Why do
Starseed.
Why do we insist, by the way, in saying it's a 4 o'clock kickoff and then starting it an hour later? Can we not just be honest?
Yeah, but it's
and
not.
Say, people,
it's the kickoff to the game where you have the coin toss, the anthem, the impromptu Our Lady Peace concert, which was a nice treat. I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
So you had all that. I think the anthem was good. I think the whole all that pregame pomp, like nothing happened in which in this day and age, Dave, that you can say was viral. You know, like a faux pas, if you will. Doing something.
Nobody went off script.
So that went all good. Then we have kickoff, Dave. And the game as it stood, Montreal 7-1 through quarter one. First point on the board, a Rouge, which is, God love it. And then the Riders getting 14 in the second quarter to take a 15-7 lead into halftime. For you, I guess, walking away from that game, and somebody will come up to you as the CFL historian you are, and they will say, Dave, Grey Cup 112, Winnipeg, Riders over the Alouettes, and you're going to point to, and I'm not talking MGK, I'm not talking OLP, I'm not talking any of that.
I'll forget
all of those. But in-game, what's the main nugget or point you're bringing up from this one?
I'll take away the Shea Patterson fumble, right? That's
Has
a
to be.
defining
Has to
moment.
be.
But I would go A.J. Ouellette would have been my MVP. Because I think if the Riders didn't use him as effectively as they did, and he had a hell of a game, that they might not have been in the position that they were. I said it earlier, I'll keep saying it, the right team won. The team that was the best in the league from pillar to post is the one who won the cup. And that isn't always the case.
No.
Often it isn't. So, they wobbled at the end. Good on Montreal for, again, not surprised that a team led by Jason Moss will not go down.
And they've done this in Grey Cups in the past.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. There's a rich history of the Riders wobbling, if not failing. But
Montreal coming from
yes,
this
absolutely.
Moss-led team that's what they do.
And Davis Alexander may go on to have a brilliant career where he may be a Hall of Famer at some point. I was going to tweet it last night, and I thought it was a little mean-spirited. He's many things, right? Like he is a CFL quarterback, right? In the best way possible, but he's not methodical. Like I thought he was trying to win the game in the first quarter, airing it out. And I know he couldn't run, so we felt like, okay, I got to win this thing on my arm.
Yeah.
And I understand that urge, but I think there was more stuff underneath than maybe he cared to admit.
They're an aggressive offense.
They are.
Both of these teams, and we said going into this, it's the first blush of Davis Alexander losing his first as a starter now, going against that Rough Rider D. We haven't seen it yet this season. How is it going to happen? Yeah. And again, hamstring. Again, if you're not good enough to play, then don't play. I'm not buying. Everybody's got something. So, but 3 picks, and as you mentioned, kind of figuring it out. And then the Riders.
Don't do it. Here's one for all you Eskimo fans. Don't do a John Avery and say, yeah, no, I'm good to go, and then pull yourself out of the game at halftime.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But you mentioned the Riders and A.J. Ouellette, and 17 carries, 83 yards, a touchdown. Tommy Stevens with a pair as well, sneaking in, which was
short
good.
Yardage Tommy.
Yeah, and Trevor Harris beating out Caleros now for the highest completion percentage with over 20 attempts in a Grey Cup. 23 of 27, 302, no tutties, no INTs as well.
Does he retire?
He was asked the question, wouldn't confirm yet. He said, to which made me wince, I might just be finding my game. And I don't, at the ripe age of 39, I don't know about that, but.
Well, we are seeing the older quarterback thriving.
Sports sciences can do a lot of strange things these days. And you can,
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say you get a little injection of.
Human performance, Rick.
Sure, yeah. What's that stuff? Plasma.
Sure, yes.
We'll have Jeff Krischel on. He could probably tell us a bit more about this. But no, I mean, you mentioned the Riders had a game plan. They've had one all year, and they executed what they did. And the Alouettes' defense, as good as it was, Ouellette just had a few runs where he hit that second level. Drives would continue. Harris was good. I think you mentioned as well the tips to the offensive line who didn't let him get touched really all game long. So
they were great.
That's what you need. That's what you need in a team. Emilus, you mentioned too, targeted 10 times, grabbed all of them, 108 through the air. So, I mean, again, a great cup that wasn't decided by any, as I said, going into the weekend, any BS. You don't want things to be.
Classic? No. Good? Yes.
Yeah, it was good. I think because from a neutral point of view, obviously, I lean a bit in this one. So you're kind of watching more with the heart and not with the head.
You have it tattooed on your body?
Well, we don't. Yeah, guess where? 780-218-9999.
Yeah,
but I want to hear a neutral's point of view. I mean, where does this go down for a classic? Because I did think too, Montreal, given their injury problems midseason, were probably the best team in the East. If they were healthy all year and Davis was healthy all year, they'd probably finish first. So it's probably 2 of your best teams. As you said, this is the matchup you want. We'll leave it there. Grey Cup 112, Riders 25, Alouettes 17, Saskatchewan capturing
those
goalposts. Let's move on the show.
Move those
you mean?
posts.
Yeah, move those posts.
Mr.
No
Gordon
black
Johnson.
screens.
No rouge.
Officials who can announce the yardage on a penalty instead of just.
You really have a thing for Andre Proulx, hey?
Well, if you're going to do it, I don't mind him announcing calls in French either, en français.
Why would you?
But why just like 2 or 3 randomly?
Just because you can.
Is it a quota that he needs to reach? Like, okay, you've done 3.
That'd be so our country,
That's it.
hey?
Check.
Yeah. Mandated 3 calls in French.
Because I don't mind. I love the French language. I think it's beautiful.
It's a language
It's
of
one of the
love.
reasons I like getting on an airplane. because they do everything. That's the only really time you hear it, right? You kind of. So I don't mind the whole en français angle, but why are you doing it for like 2 calls and then not the rest during the game? And again, that last drive, one play was just whistled dead, and I don't really know why. There wasn't a call, there wasn't a timeout.
Not
there
yours
wasn't
to question, Eric. You just leave that alone. Just leave it
and then
alone.
his mic was hot. He's like, and he started yelling at somebody like, no. Saskatchewan.
We love the game for all its imperfections.
We sure do.
Yeah.
And God bless Andre Proulx, because a character like that is, you need those guys around. Let's get into the good, bad, and ugly right now.
Sure.
For the weekend. You can play along as well. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat, your good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Lots of places to go. The good, bad, and ugly brought to you by the 780. Home of the EST now in Winnipeg shirts. Check them out today. 780. Good from the weekend?
Oh, well, how could there be anything other than a Rider
Week
win?
11 in the... Oh,
5th in the proud history of that franchise.
sure.
And not that you're giving me another option, but Draisaitl winner. But you asked, the good is the Rider win.
I will go, and it wasn't mentioned at all, I don't think, during the broadcast last night, but winning in Winnipeg, which I know the Bombers had a chance to win in Regina a few years back, and it was really all you could hear. And then when it eventually didn't happen, I mean, there were a lot of sullen shoulders and sunken heads and a lot of sadness. But I do believe every team now has won a Grey Cup on their own home field, except for, Dave.
Your
Give me a guess.
Edmonton.
You got
Eskimos.
9 guesses. No?
They haven't won at Commonwealth, have they?
Keep going.
The
Winnipeg Blue
Bombers.
Bombers.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll fix it.
So the Riders have,
Osh's staying.
Riders have won in Winnipeg. He's staying, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. So I'll go with the Roughriders winning in Winnipeg, a narrative that kind of found its way not just in the back seat, but in the trunk of the vehicle here during Grey Cup 112. So that's something to be somewhat happy about, I guess, but not too happy. You don't want to be too happy.
Never.
Trev, good from the weekend?
Yeah, lots to like about the Grey Cup yesterday, including my boy, MGK. Halftime, baby. I thought he did great. I thought it was awesome. It's right up my alley.
Okay.
I've loved him since day one, and I still do. He's still got it. Let's go. I know the Nasties.
He's not an old artist, right?
No,
So,
no, he's
I mean,
not. He's like a few years older than me, but I remember being in like high school when he kind of first
when he
started.
went by Machine Gun.
Yeah,
He was in the rap game, and then Eminem shut him down, and then he had
And
to
said,
reinvent
okay,
himself as a...
reinvent,
Yeah.
and
That'll happen.
came out, shed that skin, put on a new one. Like
Nobody
a lizard.
cares. Nobody cares.
Like
Yeah,
a lizard.
yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. But yeah, even some love from the Nasties. Say, yeah, he did all right. All right. He did okay. Yeah. You know what? I thought he did more than all right. Some classics from him and some of his new songs from his new album. So I thought it was good. That's my good. But overall, Grey Cup was good. But I just wanted to come at a different angle.
Yeah, in halftime, I don't... I'm never for the ones like hating it. Like I went out and had a Swisher Sweet in the garage, you know, like, yeah, as you do. That's
Sure,
Grey Cup.
Tipperello, a wine tip.
If you're in the stadium, most people will go and relieve themselves or partake in that too. But I mean, yeah, if you watched halftime, if you have thoughts, 780-218-9999. I don't think anybody's... Again, not one of those things where something happened that it goes viral and he dropped his guitar or sang out of
No
key.
Janet Jackson.
Right.
No
Yeah.
Prince in the Rain in
It was
Miami.
it was a performance, and it was fine.
It was fine.
Do you think if somebody from the alternative music world shuts him down, he just doesn't have a name anymore? Like Machine Gun Kelly was rap. Eminem destroyed him. Then he goes to this MGK. So if somebody like
Somebody's kind of doing whack-a-mole with his musical identity, right? He moves over here and someone goes, and then he jumps to something else. He goes, ska.
country's always that safe genre though, where you can always go and reinvent yourself. You can always
That's
kind of
why
just
country is
that's-
safe haven.
It's a safe
Right,
haven,
Trev?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bad from the weekend. What's your bad?
Well, it's Shea Patterson, the goal line fumble. I feel badly for the young man, former Rider,
Correct.
and he had a chance to etch his name in CFL lore, and good play by Campbell recovered the fumble, right? He didn't do the strip.
Sales recovered it.
Sales
and
recovered
recovering it on the goal line. If that's an inch further out, you're getting that on the one, and then having to, which they would probably giving up
would have
handed off to Ouellette 10 yards in the end zone in a shotgun draw,
right?
And been tackled there.
But yeah, I mean, you always feel badly. Or at least I do when a championship is decided, and it really. I'm not blaming him entirely because
you're blaming Jason Moss.
No, I'm not blaming Jason Moss either. But you just hate to see him have to wear this in the way he did postgame.
Yeah, somebody's got Aaron Korolnik, who's been on the show, and he did Grey Cup Saturday with Dusty. He tweets out last night, I know the commissioner has a lot on his plate when it comes to rule changes, but he says the CFL needs to do away with the quarterback sneak near the goal line. Let the skill position players score the touchdowns. I don't think...
But aren't you taking away like a fundamental play of football?
Well, and it's also a coach. If they wanted Stevie Scott to run in the ball, then they would have put Stevie Scott to like. Nobody's forcing Jason Moss nor Corey Mace's hand to put in your short yardage QB. Like
right.
And they have to execute. And if you can't, then that's too bad. But like, I'm not. And do you want me to read the tweet again? Because I don't really get it.
Okay, go. Do it again.
I know the commissioner has a lot on his plate, and he does.
Yes,
and I don't think this is going to find its way to the. But anyway, the CFL needs to do away with the quarterback sneak near the goal line. Let the skill position players score the touchdowns. Like.
And we love AK.
But if there's no punt return touchdown every punt, do you have to do away with the like? I don't really get. I'm not getting the.
I don't know where AK is going with that because you sit with any football coach for any length of time and ask about that situation, and they'd say, well, why would I hand it to a running back who's like 4 yards behind?
Yeah.
Or 5 yards behind where we need to be.
And your quarterback, your short yardage quarterback, who's supposed to be a specialist. Does this, and that's what it is.
Presumably would protect the football.
And I don't know if Korolnik was playing fantasy in the Grey Cup. Like most people's fantasy seasons are done. You don't take it to the chip. I get that during the season. If you have a running back or something like that,
it won't happen. But
Tommy Stevens racking up 25 touchdowns. He's on no fantasy. Like I get that, but they don't. The leagues they shouldn't be set up to for lack of a better term, massage your fantasy.
Eric. You know that the priority is to get those goalposts moved.
Yeah. Well,
they'll get to short yardage later.
We'll leave it there. My bad is the broadcast from last night.
Okay.
And I'm talking the television one. You got to figure that out. I don't know why the screen was going black. And it went black at some strange times where it would come back and it'd be like, oh, penalty. What? And I'm sitting there watching. I go, I know that there's going to be some momentous occasion during this game. And we're going to get black screen and come back. And it's going to be Prue there with his hair and everything. And
sweating
profusely. And you won't know what's going on. And they'll say, we already showed the replay. Can't show it again. So I don't know. And to go off your point, there's a lot of things. There's always things you can fix in any league. Nothing is ever the finished project. You should always be looking to improve and looking to morph and advance into the future. However, I do think with the lack of competition when it comes to broadcast rights, sometimes we might just be like,
well,
hey, Kyle in the truck, or I don't know,
it's Trevor, right, with us today?
Yes.
That's me, Jay.
You understand all of this stuff. Why would that broadcast, the telecast, glitch the way it does?
I don't know. I was asking the same thing. I was so confused.
Plug it back in.
Oh,
something like that. In the truck. What is it? The Dome?
Yeah, the Dome production.
Dome production.
I was like, what? Yeah, no, I had no idea what was going on. I do not know the answer to that. Sorry, JMO.
There's satellites, there's electricity, there's wire. I'm out, right?
Yeah, someo's not doing their job. That's what I thought.
I don't know if they're not. There's.
I'm not laying blame. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not. For me, for the good, bad, and ugly, it is my bad. It was a championship game, and you don't need to see the screen going black. Trev, you're bad from the weekend.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the Jack Hughes out 8 weeks, but I just thought of this instead. Actually, well, yeah, no, I'll stick to this. Adrian Kempe yesterday, Oilers fans, he did re-sign with the Kings, 8 years, $85 million. I know we were it was all jokes.
Kempe jet.
There were, but trade rumors, that stuff, it gets me going. It gets a lot of fans going. I know there's quite a few Oilers fans tweeting about it, how bad that is. It would have been cool to see him.
Bad because he's good.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Bad because he's good at what he does.
Man, he's an
If you
Oilers
can't be good,
killer.
don't be bad, baby.
Yes, thank you for that.
I was really
Oiler
warming.
fans are disappointed because Kempe is a
know.
guy that, well, he's really effective on 97.
He is. Yeah, man,
He's just really effective.
He's automatic. He's
Yes,
an Oilers
he is.
killer.
Mr. Automatic.
And I was warming up to the idea of him joining the Oil. Obviously, that's not going to happen now. But that's what happens in sports. But
And when
It
you
can,
say
yeah.
bad.
No, and I want to go there, and when you say you hope that because every Oiler fan wants every good player elsewhere to be on the
Sure,
Oilers.
yeah.
True.
How would Kempe land here? He would just sign as a free agent.
Yep, that's what it would have had
Okay.
to have been. But the cap's going up. The Oilers would have had to do something obviously to free up some cap. But
Yes, they would.
But that was bad when I saw that last night. I was like, damn it.
What
Anyway,
happened with this Jack Hughes thing?
He was out with the team.
It's a steak meal gone awry.
Yeah, I thought it was a steak knife, something like that. But apparently it was a glass injury through from glassware cut him. That got him so out
Stemware.
eight
Do they call it
weeks.
stemware?
Is that what it is?
The decanter broke.
Like, yeah.
And the
something like that.
the maitre d'
Stemware?
comes by and
he
like
must
he's
have
trying to.
done
Can
a
I
good
top that up for you,
job.
Mr. Hughes?
And
And he's
whoops,
like,
ah.
"Wah!" And next thing you know, he's bleeding and he's out 8 weeks. Wow.
That's crazy. 8 weeks. So that's also bad.
I'd like to party with them Devils.
Sure. Well, they don't miss. Ugly from the weekend. Dave. What's your-
NFL officiating. I don't know how the best football league in the entire world
Ooh, careful.
is not able to figure out what is a fairly important play, like pass interference. And when Chris Collinsworth
He had enough.
decides he checked out,
The audio on that, come on.
turns to Tirico and goes, "You take it from here. I've seen enough of this crap."
There was the incident in the Eagles-Lions. There was also one in Spain in the Dolphins-Commanders game. Pardon me. It's again, and I know Obutski doesn't like me complaining about the
Officiating?
everything. I can't complain about anything really because he's. But I
That's
just
what we do in this business.
no. But Andre Proulx, and say what you want about him, and again, we always railroad on the CFL. That NFL officiating, and you talk to a purist in the NFL. Again, the robots cannot come soon enough. And then also, I'm going to go with the ugly, kind of piggybacking off of that, the spitting incident.
Oh yeah, do you want to get there?
Well, we will with Mike, but it's.
but it merits
So-
discussion.
But I just
Jamar Chase,
we have it on video.
Jalen Ramsey.
So
Do you wanna
Bengals
tell
Steelers-
tell the listener.
Bengals Steelers, Jamar Chase, Jalen Ramsey.
Yes,
They're locking helmets, of course.
a lot of chest bump.
Electric defensive player, electric offensive player. It's a divisional rivalry. This is what you want.
It's Electric Avenue. Yes.
It's Electric Avenue. Helmets are close. And I'm looking at various videos right now. Some zoomed in where I can see the color of the projectile.
It's Seinfeld.
Jamar
It's the
Chase, I
Seinfeld
know.
episode.
But we've had a spitting incident in the NFL already that I believe earlier on in the season.
Yes.
I don't recall the players involved.
Wasn't
but
Ja-
I remember
wasn't it
talking
Hurts?
about it.
Wasn't Hurts
Well,
involved?
somebody spit and then somebody returned fire. And then there was
Right.
like, who
Then
spit
it's
first?
a gob fest.
But in this case, Ramsey didn't spit. Chase hawked a loogie. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I'm telling you, you don't have to watch it yourself, but this thing it's got some girth to it. Like it's got some.
Oh, you could.
It's
clearly
brought up
see
from
it.
it's not just it's not saliva in the mouth.
Have we seen the John Boy video on it? Because once John Boy breaks
John
it,
Boy gets a hold of it, yeah.
Once John Boy hits it,
But I don't think in this, and the ugly's not even the spitting now. It's the fact that the post game, questioning in the locker room, and again, the cameras got it.
Oh.
He spit
irrefutable
but
evidence.
they asked Jamar Chase, did you spit? And he goes, nothing left my mouth. So now
that I'm aware of.
Sure.
Dot.
So I don't know how you kind of get out of this one. Ramsey was ejected for kind of going at it after the spit. Mm-hmm. Something's going to happen there. I mean,
have
some
a question.
retroactive.
Can you go upstairs to review the spit?
Well, they clearly not. I don't know. But to deny it, and that's where I'm gonna. That's like
Double down,
he'll claim
brother.
it's an AI.
You double down.
It's AI.
I worked with a guy who once spat on Kerwin Bell in a game.
Like a player or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Peterson. Just
yeah,
gobbed
yeah.
on Kerwin Bell. Not
Where
when
did he
was
get him?
playing
Like
with
in
us.
the-
I think right, full on.
Jeez. How about Sean Payton as well? Eh?
Well, yeah, Sean Payton. If you didn't see that, that's good video.
The wacky world of the NFL.
Yeah, stay off the white line, coach.
Trevor, your ugly from the weekend is.
Yeah, it was talked about on Hello Hockey. I'll just touch on it quickly, but ugly from the OHL. Luke Dragusica slashes Brady Blasek in the face, like just gnarly.
That was a McSorley. That was
truly
a McSorley.
ugly. Like there's no place for that in sport at all. Like regardless of sport, man, that was just terrible. Is suspended indefinitely, so I don't know how you.
What were the?
He should be suspended.
The injury to the guy.
I was just looking, couldn't see anything as of right now. But yeah, there was like he was bloodied up. Like they were tending to him. Like that was awful. No place that should never be happen. That never happened on the ice. So very ugly, embarrassing.
But and you're right. But hockey finds, and this is not an anti-hockey thing. I grew up in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of stick work, lots. But occasionally, and thankfully not very often, someone goes, I've got a long stick in my hand.
Yes.
Made of composite material, and I black out, and I just swing it.
Yeah.
You're right. No place. But it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah. And they can be forgiven for.
Well, I don't know if they're forgiven.
No, but you know what I mean. They're only a human.
Yes, we will be human.
To err is human, right?
Yes.
It was the Dak Prescott spitting incident from earlier.
That's
Justin
right.
from Belgoni. Thank you very much for getting us there. Sorry. Yes, exactly. That does it for Good, Bad, and Ugly. Coming up, Darren Dreger will be joining us here. Our number one, though, of the Nielson Show for eWill. Your power play specialists. eWill has the gear you need for your next electrical project. So if you need any of the Sparky variety here, that's what they call it in the trades, the electrical. 3 Edmonton area locations to better serve you, or you can order online anytime. eWill, that's EWEL.ca, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Dreger on the way next. We'll dive into the Oilers, some hockey for you. Both talk on and off the ice as well around the NHL, as we mentioned the Kempe deal and what that means for Edmonton moving forward, as somebody in the Paris Jewelers inbox says. Something about Alex Tuck. So we move from Kempe.
He's the next player.
We'll just keep going down the line.
I like where our listeners and viewers are going.
Viewers,
just
subs.
go and get the players that hurt us the most. Fair?
That's what you do. Yeah. Then they can't hurt you no longer.
Right.
They can hurt you no longer.
And then you just
Double negative.
steamroll your way to the end. You just gather all of the best players.
Yeah. Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnson. We're coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Once again, keep getting those texts in 780-218-9999. $20 to Royal Pizza on the line. Dreger coming up next. First, a sports update, though. It's brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises, Northeast Edmonton, to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834 if you're listening. 95.7 Cruise FM. Quick break and a traffic update from Justin Durbin. Dave Jamieson and I will be back in a couple minutes.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are your 2025 Grey Cup champions after defeating the Montreal Allouettes 25-17. Trevor Harris threw for over 300 yards. And Tommy Stevens powered in a pair of touchdowns to seal the win. It's Saskatchewan's first Grey Cup in 12 years and the 5th in franchise history. Only 5 games around the NHL last night. Penguins shut out the Predators 4-0. Canucks roared back with 6 unanswered to beat the Lightning 6-2. Wild edged the Golden Knights 3-2 in overtime. The Red Wings doubled up on the Rangers 2-1. And the first place Colorado Avalanche handled the Islanders 4-1. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers are in Buffalo to face the Sabres. Catch the DCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola and Benny Thompson starting at 4 o'clock. Puck drop goes at 5. 5 other games around the NHL tonight, including the Canucks taking on the Panthers and the Canadiens visiting Columbus to play the Blue Jackets. 8 games in the NBA last night and 8 more tonight. The Raptors look to make it 4 straight as they take on the Hornets. Tip-off is set for 5:30. Jalen Hurts ran in a touchdown as the Philadelphia Eagles took care of the Detroit Lions 16-9 on your NFL Sunday Nighter. Week 11 wraps up tonight with the Raiders hosting the Cowboys. You can catch all the action with Lieutenant Eric live at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino, Fort Road, with loaded burger specials, free heated underground parking, and your next chance to qualify for a trip for two to see the Broncos take on the Raiders in Vegas. And back to hockey, the first place Oil Kings remain red hot after sweeping both weekend games, extending their win streak to 8. They're back on the ice Tuesday against Penticton. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad guys. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gadget and Gauge it. Go to play better to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tie of fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about what's his name? Macramella, Rapaport, Dreger and Tanier. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin in the tales of the north. I would want to give him a present. Does he go on? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Step closer to the hollow, the devil may care. If I showed you around my heart, would you mind if I shared to show you what's wrong with me? I will not change it. I will wait patiently while you get painted out.
7:07, Nielson Show continues. Hour 2, as YouTube Trev pointed out, only 2 hours left. Just 2 more, Dave. Actually, under that, 53 minutes, an hour and 53. Still
I'd
to go
all day.
You've been going here 3 days last week and a day. This is your final one. Thank you again for
now,
filling in.
I hope.
For now, yeah.
It's a PTO.
Sure.
I get it.
Stay in town, is what they say, right?
Just
Yeah.
stay close.
Stay close.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll never know when we need
Yeah.
you. Dave Jameson in for Dustin Nielsen. He'll be returning from Grey Cup 112. Back on the show tomorrow morning. Lieutenant Eric here with you as well. Coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio here. Nielsen Show presented as always by Weiss Johnson. Check him out today for any furnace questions or concerns you might have. Weiss Johnson and Train, home comfort specialist for nearly 50 years. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Still looking for a text of the day as we made our way through hour 1. $20 to Royal Pizza on the line for text of the day today. Let's get into our first guest. As mentioned, a balanced diet on the program. We'll talk some hockey coming up here, as well as the NFL and the CFL picture to come. But first, it's Darren Dreger, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, and you were watching a little bit of the great. You had a chance, I guess, to kind of shake off the hockey duties for a brief moment and indulge in some football. 3 down variety.
I did, and I don't know if you guys caught it on X. Normally, I don't turn into fanboy and post the pictures.
Yes.
But I did dust off my men's medium Saskatchewan Roughriders T-shirt, whatever it was gifted to me by the Riders at least a decade ago, at least 10 years ago, right? But it kind of fit. So I thought, all right, well, I'm going to strap this thing on.
The picture was only from I mean, kind of
Yeah.
neck.
It was well
strategic.
It was
You framed it well, yeah.
Yes, because I look like a sausage casing. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I'm invested. Was invested because that's where I come from, and so obviously I'm going to cheer for the Riders. I thought overall, though, the game was a decent game. You had your normal influence of CFL drama. Mistakes, which make the game entertaining. I thought the pregame was excellent. I thought the halftime was terrific. So overall, from a viewing perspective, it was a pretty good game to watch. I enjoyed it.
Darren Dreger, our EST Hockey Insider, is brought to you by GS Construction. They're hiring now, looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, topmen, and superintendents. GSConstruction.ca. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years. Let's get to the ice now, Darren. Oilers road trip continuing Saturday. Again, another overtime win. Connor McDavid said it. It's a tough slog right now through this first quarter or third of the season for the club. But you're still finding ways to get points here and there against a tough opposition in Carolina. Your thoughts from Saturday?
Yeah, none of these are worthy of spending a lot of time being negative or being positive on. I think that McDavid's comments are bang on. Anytime you can nail down that 2 points, don't overanalyze. If you're part of the organization, it's our job to overanalyze. That's what we do because we can see the areas of want and we can also see the areas of need. But you do have to remind you're 20 games into the regular season. And man, when you look at the Pacific Division now, all four divisions are incredibly tight. Yeah. But even though it seems like the Oilers are among that group of teams that are underachieving and they're slogging through, what are they, like 2 points out of top spot in the division? And, I think fans need to be reminded of that. But then that kind of thinking is elevated because of everything the Oilers have accomplished over the last couple of seasons. The amount of hockey that these guys have played can't be overlooked. So I know it's not an excuse for highly paid athletes, pro athletes, to look like they're just kind of meandering through the early goings of the regular season. But whether that's intentional or not, does it really matter? What matters is you qualify for the playoffs and you make another run. And in the case specifically of the Edmonton Oilers, another run isn't good enough. They made it to the Stanley Cup final. So by their standards, not the fans' perspective, by their standards, the leaders, coaching, management, ownership of the Edmonton Oilers, they expect to hoist to win the Stanley Cup. And if they don't do that this year, then even though it seems wildly unfair, it'll be a disappointment just based on everything that every person has invested over the last few seasons.
Darren, what did you make of Zach Hyman's return? He went to the body early, and the Oilers have missed that. But what did you make of his overall game?
Yeah, I mean, as solid as expected, but obviously there's more to come, right? You don't just step back into the National Hockey League at the 20-game mark and have everything going for you. The conditioning, all right, we know he's a well-conditioned athlete, but, you got to be able to get your reps. And honestly, I don't think we spend enough time, and it's boring for the fans to listen to, talking about the condensed schedule. And where that really rears its ugly head, it's not just on the wear and tear of these guys playing in back-to-backs and playing in 3 and 5 and 3 and 4 and all of that. I mean, that's the obvious stuff. They're not able to work on areas of concern because there's no practice. And what amplifies that issue is a guy like Zach Hyman hasn't had the same sort of game-related reps that normally you might have, right? And practice has gone the way of the dodo bird the last number of years. This isn't necessarily new. It's just, again, exaggerated because it's an Olympic year. But I think the game that we saw Zach play last night, this weekend was a good game, but it's going to get better. As he gets his timing back, as he, gets his full pace back. So we got a taste of what he can provide in terms of the physicality, how he hunts pucks. Just the hockey IQ is second to none. And that can only improve, which by extension is going to make everyone around him that much better.
TSN's Darren Dreger joining us here on the Nielson Show. He's on the Firehouse hotline, Firehouse Subs, 15 locations across Edmonton and the greater area. Easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs, hot, hearty, made to satisfy. Breaking a few hearts around in this market, Darren, was the Kempe deal, the extension, 8 years, $85 million to stay in LA. Another face that we can kind of X off the board in terms of free agent wish lists or something for next season. Your thoughts on the deal and where, I guess, for an Oiler fan, would you say turning your attention to now moving forward that Kempe's sealed up?
Yeah, I'm looking forward, or I'm looking ahead. Forward's not the right way to describe free agent frenzy because all of these guys are getting ticked off the box, right? So we're going to be sitting there and juggling more than we normally do on July 1st, but that's fine. He's such an important part of the Los Angeles Kings. I don't think that many of us expected that he was going to go to free agency. And it was an obvious back and forth between JP Barry, the agent, and Kenny Holland, the general manager. And they felt like, as was reported on last week, somewhere in that 10.5, slightly above, was going to be the sweet spot because the Kings were hoping for around 10. JP Barry's looking at 11 plus. So, you just be patient and you get it done. Well, now we shift over to Alex Tuch and the Buffalo Sabres and what is going to happen there. I don't know how much you guys watch Alex Tuch. I watch him a lot. I do. He's a really, really good player. Big part of the package, of course, that sent Jack Eichel to the Vegas Golden Knights. He was a key part of the return of the Buffalo Sabres. I'm sure Buffalo would have him locked up by now if it were that simple because he's more or less a local guy. Those type of players are hard to come by. He's a physical, big forward. He can generate some offense. But it makes you wonder now, right? And, it's the Bartlett family that represents Alex Tuch. And I think the waiting game is now more shifting towards the design of the player. And, Buffalo always seems to be that roller coaster ride, right? They seem to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And so if you're Alex Tuch, essentially now you're by yourself. So let's just see how it plays out. That would be my approach if I were him. Let's see how it plays out in Buffalo. There's no sense of urgency, but if he were to get to free agency, man, he'd be a hot commodity. But one of those players like Adrian Kempe who deserves that sort of acknowledgement.
Darren, 20 games in your mind, has anyone played themselves out of consideration for Team Canada? Anybody you've seen on, the lists? Where you go, that guy is not bringing his best yet.
Yeah. How deep do you want to dive into that, Dave? Because I think it is a little too early for that. Yeah. And I know that many of us, and by many, I'm saying, Team Canada brass and probably Team USA, head honchos as well, look at the Four Nations and say, all right, well, there's the glut of our roster for the Olympic platform. But why shouldn't it be, especially if you're Team Canada and you look at the winning recipe that you had there. But there are some interesting pieces up front for Canada. You can't turn your back on Macklin Celebrini and what he's doing in San Jose. And Connor Bedard just will not go away. If you'd asked me at the start of the year, if I felt that there was any chance, remote or otherwise, that those two kids would be vying for a spot on Team Canada, I'd have said a hard no. Maybe wiggle room for Celebrini because he plays a more complete game. But now Bedard has played his way into the conversation, and not our conversation, the conversation that Doug Armstrong and Team Canada management has to be having. They didn't think that there'd be room for 2 kids, but here we are. So there's time there. So what does that mean? Travis Konecny to the Philadelphia Flyers probably is on the outside looking in. Then you look at, say, an Anthony Cirelli. Can't lose sight of the fact that John Cooper is the head coach. Brandon Hagel's probably going to make that team. Point is on. So what do? Do you question what Anthony Cirelli can bring, even though, man, he's a sharp guy with a winning pedigree and was part of that solution with the Four Nations. So some questions up front with a push of Nick Suzuki. I've talked about the 2 kids, Tom Wilson, Mark Scheifele up front. And then what do you do on defense, right? Again, it seems highly unlikely they're going to look at what Matthew Schaefer is doing with the New York Islanders because he's a teenager. Right. But if he's the best of the group, How do you not acknowledge that? How do you not? But then I'm reminding myself as I speak of, okay, but you know what? If you play Drew Doughty for 14 minutes, not 22, 14 minutes, Drew Doughty can have some influence. And Drew Doughty brings a lot more than what he's capable of doing on the ice, what he does on the bench, what he does in the dressing room. Those voices around that group matter. So I'm long-winded here, fellas, but the book is still open. I don't think they're going to close it on what this roster looks like until the 11th hour. I really don't.
And just one more for you, Darren. Speaking of rosters and the Oilers, we've seen some movement here. Of course, Dave mentioning the return of Hyman. Ike Howard making way. Is this, and from your insider point of view, and just to communicate to fans here, you got Nuge still a ways away, Kasperi Kapanen beginning of December. In terms of this roster, is the only movement that fans here will see in terms of guys coming back from injury and guys either, when we saw Stetcher as well, waivers claimed by the Leafs. Is that the only movement that fans of this franchise can expect moving forward here in the short term? Or, I mean, we've heard Bowman speak, albeit cryptically, about goaltending over the past couple of weeks. Do you get any sense that something might be placed on the burner and begin to cook in terms of a deal with Bowman and crew?
Not really, not impossible, obviously, but I did a little poking around this morning, not specifically with the Oilers, to be fair, but some other teams that are in need, right? The Montreal Canadiens have a laundry list of injuries, and that's growing, and we're talking about long-term things here, right? The Vancouver Canucks injury issues with so many of their young pieces that were thrown into the heat of the battle. Well, they claim David Kampf from the Toronto Maple Leafs just picked him right off the scrap heap. And I think that's a sneaky good ad. He's the 3-4 center, but for now, that's good enough for Adam Foote and the Vancouver Canucks. And my sources in Montreal saying, yeah, sure, they're scouring the NHL. They're looking for help up front. Primarily, Montreal has been looking for a center, but they'd settle for if there is an affordable forward available. So I'm sharing all that because that applies to the Oilers as well. And we're only 20 games in. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to tweet at me and tell me, well, it was similar to this a year ago and 5 years ago. But I don't recall looking at the standings and seeing it as tight as it is right now, as we established the segment with. But then more importantly, have a look at the winning percentages, right? You know how many teams are under 500 right now in the National Hockey League? 5. 5 of 32. Are slightly below 500. So, there's nobody that's just in an absolute tailspin, has no choice but to consider, at the very least, a renovation. I'm sure there are teams that are getting twitchy and thinking about it. I look at Nashville right now, coming off the Global Series. But beyond that, it is tough sledding for Stan Moman and everybody every general manager wants to improve, but unless you're willing to overpay, it's just not possible. So you have to work with what you have internally.
One of those 5, Alex Tuck and the Buffalo Sabres, just kind of there. We'll get a look at, I know you've watched him. We'll get a great look at him tonight, Darren, but thanks for your time and your insight, and enjoy the week, man. Talk next week.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
There you have Darren Dreger, TSN. He is your EST hockey insider, and it's for GS Construction. Joining us as well on the Firehouse Subs hotline, hot, hearty, made to satisfy. 15 locations of Firehouse Subs in and around Edmonton. Check them out today. And once again, Dreger for GS Construction. They are hiring. Go to gsconstruction.ca if you're looking for some work, experienced pipe layers, operators, top men, and superintendents. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years. Your thoughts? I know the Tuck name was getting spilled in both in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, and in the nasty chat. It'll be interesting to see him. He'll be on a line tonight. Last time we saw them, Tuck and Ryan McLeod in between the unicorn of Tage Thompson. So more on the Sabres as we go into the third hour in the Orange and Blue Breakfast, but kind of funny. And as Darren did mention quite correctly, Dave, 5 of those teams below 5, and the Leafs are one of them as well.
Yeah, Leafs, Calgary,
Leafs, Sabres,
Nashville,
Calgary, and St. Louis.
And St. Louis. And St. Louis
with the league's worst goaltender in Jordan Binnington. So, riddle me that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. But I mean, out of those 5, you could argue that maybe the Leafs don't belong there. perhaps the Sabres do.
So you're saying the Leafs' struggles are an optical illusion?
Well, same as the Blues. You could argue that it's going to regress to the mean or whatever right. Like Calgary, maybe
Nashville legitimately looks like they are.
They tried doing what they're doing, and it looks like that's not going to end up doing it. So they'll kind of rebuild or whatever. But yeah, I mean, some of those teams. But again, to his point, yes, everybody's kind of close, matched up, and even some surprising teams. Looking really good thus far in terms of, your Krakens, your Ducks, even your Blackhawks getting the win over the Leafs there. Plus 12 goal differential for them on Saturday night. So the only thing that kind of... it's that Western Central with the Avalanche, Stars, and Jets that are still... And you can take your pick. I mean, the Avalanche have been the class thus far, but then work in Stars or Jets in that 2 or 3 slot, and that's kind of how it should be in that division.
And Connor Hellebuck at the game last night at Grey Cup.
Helly was there?
Yes, Helly was there.
Call him Helly.
Yeah.
No, it's good to see. No, but again, no panic, and I don't think, Oilers fans can be disgusted with the sight of play perhaps from night to night, the style, the unfinished product, but when you're still getting points, it's a good thing. As Connor McDavid said it, his words not mine.
He reminded us, yes.
His words not mine. Let's go to your Play Alberta Early Bird play of the day. Play Alberta. Download the app, make it easy for yourself, or check out playalberta.ca. Want to remind you on those codes as well for the remainder of November, halfway through now, but you can use for a $50 free bet, EST Sports on an esports bet, or you can walk around the casino room, EST Casino. Both of those codes give you a $50 free bet. Dallas Cowboys, Las Vegas Raiders tonight. Looking at that right now. Cowboys on the road in Vegas, minus 3.5. Well, hey, I know. That's where sports betting comes in handy because you get a stinker like this and you can kind of have a little, you make a little coin. Of course, use your Game Sense though.
Always.
As hour 2 is brought to you by Game Sense. Win gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed. Check out GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your Game Sense. Cowboys minus 208 on the money line. 3.5-point favorites tonight. We will, of course, have your Selly Sports Bar and Lounge pick'em coming up near the end of hour 3, where you can either take the Cowboys at minus 3.5 or the Raiders plus 3.5, and you'll go into a draw if you win for a $25 GC to Selly's. But that is how it is setting up tonight. Cowboys, Raiders, Cowboys minus 3.5 on the road in Vegas. Raiders plus 173 on the money line. Thoughts? Your Cowboys will.
Sure.
Do you like him to win?
Yes.
Do you like Vegas to cover, but Cowboys still to win, not outright?
Not outright. Yeah. Cowboys win, yes.
But Vegas to cover?
I have very little faith. I have very little faith in the Raiders.
You're going to take not the EST sports code, but the EST casino code and go around the Play Alberta Casino.
Yes.
Not so much the sports, but you love the roulettes.
Yes, I do. Always been a guide.
Reed Wilkins Show 3 to 6 here on EST.
Yes,
He's I think he's cracked the code for roulette. What? He's figured it out. He knows how to play the game.
Isn't that something you shouldn't share publicly, or is that?
No, he's not sharing, but he's read the numbers. He knows the colors. He's figured out the sequence.
Oh, I did not know that about Reed.
He's a gamer. Yeah.
So
it's a talent.
Show him the numbers. Show him a card.
Yeah, Rayman.
Okay.
I think is what they call it.
And another reason I like him.
That's your Play Alberta Early Bird Special. Coming up as well, it is Monday. We'll do a little that's good for the Italian Center. I got to stop by there late last week. Got myself a couple of hot and spicy sandwiches. Great stuff. But the Italian Center will have that's good from the weekend that was. And Mike Tanier from Two Deep Zone. He'll be by. We'll go over all of Week 11. As Mike likes to do his 2-minute drill with us, and then set up the Monday Nighter as well. Get his thoughts on the Week 11 slate. On the way in hour 3, trivia, 3 questions. Orange and Blue breakfast to get you set. Oilers road trip continuing tonight in Buffalo. We'll do that at around 8:20. We'll revisit the Grey Cup, albeit briefly, with Jeff Hamilton. I love
the way that you now tag this because we've got past our first hour.
People are sick of it already. It's
really?
done. We don't want.
We're all done.
We don't want. Yeah,
okay.
We don't want. Jeff Hamilton will be by. I want his thoughts on the party atmosphere, what he did to Lapo, and then maybe the game as well.
Sure, just a little bit on the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marmot Basin Snow Report, Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge, Pick'em, as mentioned, in the wrap for William Huff. Let's get to a sports update here. That was your Play Alberta Early Bird Special. Once again, ride with us, playalberta.ca, or download the app, Cowboys, Raiders. I just hope... You know what?
With all the teams have a good game.
No, and I know I'm not encouraging bad behavior, but... Why couldn't the spitting be on this game or something? You want something to kind of dress up the game in a sense. Give me some bad calls. I want some controversy. I want a little.
You'll probably get it
spice.
tonight. A bad call. I can
Yeah.
all but guarantee
A
that.
bad play call, maybe. Cowboys, it's always interesting. Actually, it's one of those games, too. Raiders fans, you know how they are, and it's Vegas from that spaceship. Cowboys fans travel well. Like, it should be good back and forth. A lot of fights, Like, it'd be spicy.
Fights in the stands.
Feistiness, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and join me for this one once again, Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road, loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. A sports update right now with YouTube Trev. It's brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Check them out today, parkmazda.ca, or check them out as well in Sherwood Park. If you're listening on 95.7 Cruise FM, we will take a quick break, a traffic update from the DERV, iHeart TuneIn Radio app, edmontonsportstalk.com, and YouTube. Here's YouTube Trev with the update.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are your 2025 Grey Cup winners after defeating the Alouettes 25-17. Trevor Harris threw for over 300 yards, while Tommy Stephen punched in a pair of touchdowns in the win. This is their first Grey Cup in 12 years and fifth in franchise history. Jalen Hurts rushed in one touchdown as the Philadelphia Eagles handled the Detroit Lions 69 on your NFL Sunday nighter. Week 11 wraps up tonight as the Raiders host the Cowboys. You can catch all the action with Lieutenant Eric live at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge inside Century Casino, Fort Road. Enjoy loaded burger specials, free heated underground parking, and your next chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for two to see the Broncos take on the Raiders. Just 5 games in the NHL last night. Penguins blanked the Predators 4-0. Canucks stormed back with 6 unanswered goals over the Lightning 6-2 is the score. The Wild defeat the Golden Knights in overtime 3-2. The Red Wings double up on the Rangers 2-1. In the first place, Avs beat the Islanders 4-1. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers hit the ice in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Be sure to tune in to the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola and Benny Thompson starting at 4 o'clock. Puck drop at 5. 5 other games around the league tonight, including the Canucks taking on the Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens in Columbus playing the Blue Jackets. 8 games in the association last night and 8 games on the NBA slate tonight, where the Raptors take to the court against the Hornets. The Raps look to extend their win streak to 4 games. Tip-off is at 5:30. And back to hockey, where the first-place Oil Kings cannot be stopped after winning both games over the weekend, putting their win streak now up to 8. They don't hit the ice again until Tuesday when they play Penticton. The Sports Update is brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too. Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Eyes. You know what? I saw it in his eyes. Eyes. It's fun to watch his eyes. Eyes. And, you know, he narrowed his eyes. He's been a horse. His eyes narrow. I saw it in his eyes. He loves his eyes. Eyes. It's going in the net. Horse eyes. People were highly critical of his eyes. His eyes narrow. Eyes. Eyes.
6:33, midway through a Monday installment of the Nielson Show. Here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta, the Nielson Show, presented by Weiss Johnson. If you're looking for any furnace questions, repairs, that type of thing, a little maintenance before the season, visit weiss-johnson.com for more on that. Coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, Steve Jameson in for Dustin Nielsen, who returns from Grey Cup. He'll be back on the show tomorrow. Lieutenant Eric here with you as well. And YouTube Trev, you heard there on a sports update. If you are listening this morning, 95.7 Cruise FM. We are back. iHeart, TuneIn radio apps. You can check us out. EdmontonSportsTalk.com or on YouTube and in the nasty chat if you are listening and watching on YouTube. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Do it for Dave. We're 69 away from 200. An achievable number this morning on an Oilers game day. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you'll be kept up to date on the GCLD's Oil Stream pre- and post-game show for every Oilers game with Tom Gazzola and all other things from our 6 to 6 Monday to Friday lineup. Wanted to get a few things out here. You see this little nice can here. It is the world-famous 6 o'clocker lager brewed by our friends at Alley Cat. Great partners there, the geniuses. They got the Skona Gold, Apricot, Mangalorean, Main Squeeze, all the rest. You know the lineup from Alley Cat. This one, though, starting to rise through the ranks there as a I'm not going to a team captain, but it's got an A on the jersey right now. I would say.
And you know what's impressive about that?
Yes,
is and I think initially you might have thought, they'll just do it for a while, right, to launch and stuff. But now it's become a staple.
Yeah, it's a staple in their catalog, and when Alley Cat does put something out in an event, it's there. $12.99 for a 4-pack right now. Hell of a deal. You can get that here. For a limited time, and instead of just buying the 4-pack, buy a flat. I know I did this a few years back. Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. You buy a 4-pack and you put it in an old man's hat. Or that.
Sure, I know. I
modification
know that one.
on the rhyme.
Yes.
But buy a 4-pack or a flat. You can hand out 4-packs or individual cans for Christmas. It's a good stocking stuffer idea. Or keep them for yourself. I mean, that's fine too. But $12.99 right now for a 4-pack of Alley Cat 6 o'clock lager at all Sobeys and Safeway liquor locations for a limited time only. Let's get into that's good for the Italian Center really quickly here. Italian Center shop as well. Check down there. You can get their heat and serve pastas, the meals, as well as the hot and spicy sandwiches, the pizzas. You let me know when. You know what I'm talking about. We're a little off topic here, but that's good. I'm going to go quickly, and you guys can share. And if you have anything else good from the weekend, I told you guys off air. I went to a house party Saturday night.
Yes.
And I haven't been to an old house. I mean, most of people of my age now either have families or children. I mean, the house parties can be rather tame.
Mm-hmm. As you would expect.
These people do have a child too, but they sent it away. It was a housewarming. So housewarming house party.
Hold on. Just sent the child off with someone they know, family.
Oh, yeah. So, it wasn't just,
get out.
Put an air tag on them and just have at it and we'll find you.
See, I'm of the age of my parents would have a house party and it would just be get outside. And we would just wander away from.
Or the kids go to another room.
Yeah,
you have the playroom there. Go to the
to the rumpus room.
But it's cool. It was a 1952 house.
Yes.
Our buddy Slinger from Campview has been on for Beer of the Week before. But it was a tight house. It was nice and kind of
as they were back in the day.
And he had a keg outside, so you went and tapped the keg, and it was a real throwback. And it
reminded you of simpler and maybe better times.
Days of yours,
yes,
is the phrase I think. But I told you too, it was such a nice tight confine. Poor gal was walking back from the keg through the kitchen with 2 big red Solo cups of beer, and I am talking with my hands as I do, and I whap, and it just went back. And then I said, "Do you want to trade shirts?" And she said no. But the beer was on their face. And so I wiped it up off the floor. Nobody cares. I mean, it was just, I felt bad, but nobody really. It's a house party. That's what you
rip it up.
You invest in something like that happening.
Did you stay to clean up later?
No.
Did you help the hosts.
They had a good spread. They ordered a poutine lasagna. So just a big tray of poutine. And you just help yourself. I don't believe I've ever had that. Help yourself with the scooper.
Scoop it out with a spatula.
You scoop it out and away you go. Yeah, that type of thing. So that's good. Thank you very much to Slinger and his beautiful wife for having us over. A good old house party on Grey Cup Saturday night, which left me feeling not so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Sunday morning, but we won't get into that.
Yes.
But it was good. It was very good. Some would say that's great.
Do you want to know my good?
Yeah.
My good was what we did Saturday at the Windermere Golf and Country Club, which
Please.
was a celebration, a memorial, a remembrance for our friend John Sexsmith, who many of our listeners will know undoubtedly from his many years at Global Television. He was a long time, almost 4 decades in media in this city, and John was a dear friend of mine, and he was to many, many people. It was incredible the length of tenure that his friendships spanned. There was someone there who'd known him for 50 plus years. So anyway, we bid farewell to our buddy John.
And you had a part to play in this
I was the
celebration.
MC of the celebration and helped the family in some areas with the planning and what have you. But it was just great, and it was very moving. You know, he is he will be missed, profoundly so.
Yeah, I'd get very random, long-winded texts from him as just a fan of the show and
Yes.
saying all these things and really inside stuff, not hey, sounded great, but really getting into a bit here or there, which was good. And even this morning, learning some things about his green thumb and such that I never knew. I wish. So that's good. And then and I'm glad you used the word celebration, because I think in a lot of these cases, you should celebrate the good and the memories that people, and certainly he touched a lot. Yeah.
That's a full life.
Yeah. You could have had that over a couple of days, I'm sure, with all of the people and such. So that's good for the Italian Center. R.I.P. Sexy. And long live the house parties as well. I'm a big believer. Bring them back. I mean, if you want, I don't care. But invite me. I'd love to go to them. And we were at Boston Pizza. I was there with YouTube Trev before.
I've always wanted to have a house party. That's one thing. Never had a house party, ever.
You've never had a
Not
house
once. I've never hosted one. So I've got a basement suite now. I guess I can still
With
kind of do
Igor,
it.
yeah.
But I would love to have a house party.
Well, you were
one of these
invited to
days.
on Grey Cup Sunday at Tief's.
Yeah, I wasn't. We were all invited. We kind of just
Suddenly
didn't show
busy,
up.
were you?
I was busy. I was tired.
Found out.
It was a long weekend.
Found some work.
Yeah, I found some work.
Yeah, I picked
was
up an
busy.
odd job. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up a shift, but I'm going to throw a house party. It's going to be an absolute rager, and you are definitely invited, LT. And you too, JMO. It'll be fun.
He won't show up.
I'll pick up a job.
Oh, no. Come on.
Another thing that was good, and we got Mike Tanier coming up in a second to go over the Week 11 slate in the NFL. But want to remind you, in terms of on location, EST does get around. And Tom Gazzola, Boston Pizza Westgate, Saturday for that Oilers win over the Hurricanes. It was a carnival atmosphere, really. A lot of listeners there. I brought my wife, which was great. It was she was my driver that night, so she came out. Gager was there alongside Tommy. We were celebrating Tom's dad, Reno, his 70th birthday. Trev, you were there. I saw you.
I was there. Yes, I saw you as well. And
You were on a date with a guy in a booth? Who was the guy you were with?
Oh, that was my buddy Stu.
Okay.
Yeah. We went bowling after.
Yeah.
He hired me at BP's.
At the
That's
Kingsway.
how it all started.
Kingsway, yeah. Tony and the crew out at Westgate, you know how they do. EST will be live on location again tomorrow. This is in Devon for the opening, I do believe, of that Boston Pizza location. We'll have Lock Shop. We'll have Two Guys and a Goalie, EST Afternoons, and the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. So that's 11 to 8 tomorrow.
Man,
I'm
that's
seeing on the schedule here. I don't know if that's 8, I do believe, because it says 8. We're gonna be there at 11, starting at 11 until whenever. Devon Boston Pizza tomorrow. So if you are in the area, swing by. Tommy Gazzola will be on location again on the 19th. That's this Wednesday. GCL Oil Stream pre and post. Hudson's White Avenue. So come out and see us. It's always fun with the EST crew. Let's get into Mike Tanier right now. He's joining us here. He's our Monday morning 2-minute drill type NFL analyst. It's always great to kind of go around the horn with Mike. You can catch his stuff at miketanier.substack.com. Mike, great morning to you, man. We're still reveling in the 112th Grey Cup game from last night, Riders over the Alouettes. And we'll get to that with a CFL guest in hour 3, but we got you on to talk about Week 11, and that is what we will do. The first place I want to go, and I know I've been picking your brain throughout the season of, hey, are the Colts for real? Hey, are the Broncos? It's a weird season looking at the teams both in a playoff spot and in the hunt right now. But if you asked me following Week 11, which team I probably wouldn't have up there, especially leading the division they're in, are the Chicago Bears, Mike. What the hell is going on?
It's funny in the NFL this year, and you saw it in Week 11. All the great teams are playing each other every week. Like, oh, the Eagles are playing the Lions. Oh, the Broncos are playing the Chiefs. Like, these are big matchups. And then the following week, the Chiefs are playing the Lions or whatever. Eagles are playing the Packers. Meanwhile, the weak teams are all playing each other. It's like an undercard. It's like the losers bracket. So the Bears have been in the losers bracket playing the Giants and the Saints and the Vikings, who are kind of a mess right now. And they keep winning those games. In fact, they keep winning those games close, usually like a fourth quarter field goal or something like that. So now they lead the NFC North, and it's like a mirage, because when you look carefully, it's like this is nothing but fourth quarter comebacks against teams with losing records. So you look at the late schedule, the Bears are probably going to tail off. They've got the Packers coming up, they've got the Eagles coming up, but for now they're a game ahead of the Lions, something nobody would have expected.
Mike, where do you want to go with pass interference calls? You know it's bad when Chris Collinsworth says that's a terrible call. But he wasn't wrong, but what did you see in terms of officiating this weekend?
Well, I'm based here in Philadelphia, so
yeah.
Good call, refs. Good call. That's one where if you're at the bar, all the guys start like kind of do this with their collar and things like that. Oh yeah, I guess that's fine. A terrible call late in that Eagles-Lions game, and to be clear, it was a terrible call for the Lions. I just want to remind people, they were trailing by 7. They only had one timeout left. They were going to get the ball back with like 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's not like they were cost a victory. They were cost a chance at a miracle there. There were a couple others, though. There was one in the Commanders-Dolphins game, which was an unwatchable game. But it's like that ball is so far out of bounds, and they're calling pass interference. It's common. I think we talk about it every year around this time. It's endemic in the NFL. Rulebook is too complicated, too much going on. The officiating, it's a challenging job. There's too much on their plate. Sometimes they make calls that you can't even comprehend. Then they close ranks around it. It's just something fans have learned to deal with over the years.
NFL analyst Mike Tanier joining us from Two Deep Zone. You can check his stuff out at miketanier.substack.com. And he's joining us on the Firehouse Subs hotline, 15 locations in and around the Edmonton greater area. Lots of places to go with this week. It's kind of as you mentioned in your in Two Deep Zone here in your Week 11 walkthrough, I mean, it's the good and the hilarious when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. Your thoughts on Sam Darnold, firstly, because, obviously looking at that NFC West, Seahawks and Rams coming out 21-19, but then also your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders and the moment he had.
Well, in the case of Darnold, he keeps doing this. He has these winning seasons. He manages the offense well, beats teams that his team is supposed to beat, and you start believing in Sam Darnold. And the moment you start believing in Sam Darnold, he has a 4-interception game in a game where the Seahawks would have won if it were a 3-interception game. Like, that's where we were at. He could have thrown 3 interceptions in that game. It's probably a Seahawks win. He throws 4. You kind of understand the limits of Sam Darnold, unfortunately, for the Seattle Seahawks. Shedeur Sanders gets into the game for the Browns, and I think a lot of us were curious as to what this was going to look like. And we had sort of a fear or a gut feeling that it was going to be very messy, and this was going to look like a very unprepared young man. That's what we saw. Shedeur Sanders had to come in due to an injury to Dylan Gabriel. He's standing there like a deer in the headlights, taking sacks. He's scrambling for his life and just throwing the ball out of bounds for intentional grounding penalties. He's so bad that even though he came into the game with a 16-6 lead, the Ravens just kept marching down the field, either kicking a field goal or punting. They knew that the Browns were not going to move from the point where they got the ball with Shedeur Sanders. They could take their time and manufacture a win. I don't know where the Browns move forward from this, but it's very clear that neither Gabriel nor Sanders is likely to be a future franchise quarterback in the NFL.
Mike, I saw this number and I didn't quite believe it. Jacoby Brissett, 47 completions. For your Arizona Cardinals, that's a good performance. That should
Kyler Murray, who needs him?
Well, yeah, I was going to get there. So is this finally the end of Kyler Murray there? But that's a hell of a performance in a losing cause.
There's a lot of helium in the 47 completions. The score was 35-10 49ers late in the third quarter.
Right.
From that point on, Brissett threw 22 completions. It was like the prevent defense of all time, throwing a 6-yarder, 5-yarder, 6-yarder, munching the clock. It's still impressive. It's an NFL record.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of Kyler Murray, he already went from injured with a foot injury to out with a super secret serious foot injury that we didn't know was there. So it's not hard to read between the lines there, where the Cardinals are like, hey, take all the time you need, Kyler Murray.
Don't rush it, son.
Don't rush. We don't want you getting hurt. We want you to have trade value in the offseason. That's what's happening. I don't know what the future holds for Kyler Murray. I don't think that the quarterback of the future for the Arizona Cardinals, who are fading badly this year, is on their roster right now.
Just going into the ugly from yesterday, another spitting altercation. Chase and Ramsey there in the Bengals and Steelers. When Chase was asked post-game, I mean, the video is quite damning, Mike. Do you believe this is the work of AI? Like, I mean, because what else? I just...
Did he claim it was AI?
No, he didn't, but I'm just saying that's the only, because if you're saying nothing left my mouth, when clearly, I mean, something's leaving the mouth.
Irrefutable evidence.
I don't know what his defense would be.
I don't know, but, like, I feel at this point, when Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott, and Dak might have spit first, we're not going into that.
Yeah.
His punishment was like time served. He was suspended for the game he had already been knocked out of. I feel like the NFL has to look at this and say, okay, 1 game suspension, 2 game suspension. Spitting is just inexcusable. It's such bad sportsmanship. Yeah. It's disgusting. We got to get it out of the game. I don't care if you denied it or not. You're right. The video evidence is pretty damning. You deserve to get punched by Jalen Ramsey. That's the appropriate response. I want it out of the game.
I want it out of life. Spit
it's
just
hard.
well, no,
I understand.
It's not a good, like, it's a terrible thing. I also wanted your thoughts, and you had this in your piece as well. Broncos, I don't want to, understating and overstating, but a mammoth win, especially when you look at the division and who the opponent was in the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been perfect at home this season, but we were talking earlier about mirages and stuff. Broncos, they're playing their way out of that, are they not?
They are, and they're an easy team to overlook because their offense is not that impressive. Bo Nix isn't somebody who lights the scoreboard up and creates amazing highlights. Their defense is phenomenal. Their offense plays within itself, and they keep beating the Eagles. They keep beating the Chiefs. They beat the Texans, who are a pretty tough out. They beat some other teams along the way. So at this point, you have to take them seriously. In the AFC, we're stuck with the fact that the 3 teams we all think about, the Ravens had that early losing streak. The Bills keep losing to the Dolphins, and the Chiefs keep losing these games. So the 3 teams we're always talking about, they're there. They haven't fallen off the chase, but they're in a chase group behind the Colts, behind the Broncos, the Patriots. One of those teams, those upstart teams, has got to be taken seriously. And the one that's easiest to take seriously right now is the Broncos, because they keep beating these good opponents. It's not schedule fluff.
Yeah.
These are big wins, and you can understand why they're doing it, because their pass rush and defense is so strong.
How bad do you think this injury is to Aaron Rodgers, and what does this do for the Steelers, at least in the short term?
It sounds like it's a minor fracture of the left non-throwing wrist. Now, of course, this is a 40-something-year-old guy. You don't just put a cast on there. I don't think it changes much, because when Mason Rudolph entered the game, they changed their offense around a little bit. He's a veteran backup. They've been doing a lot of stuff to protect Rodgers in the first place. They kind of win with defense, field goals, short pass and yak. I don't think it's going to change much. I think the question that comes up is, what happens if Rudolph wins a game or two? Rodgers says he's ready to come back, and it's Rodgers. Obviously, they put him back in the lineup. Does this turn into something weird in Pittsburgh? Because
Hopefully.
That's the last thing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Please.
But it's the last thing Mike Tomlin wants, clearly.
Sticking in that division as well, Mike, and I know that everybody, waiting till Burrow comes back if they can tread water and keep. And again, maybe we'll see what happens with Pittsburgh here. Ravens have won 4 in a row; they're sitting at 5-5. But are we putting the stakes in the coffin of the Cincinnati Bengals?
I tend to think so, because if you look at what would happen, even if they won out the rest of the way, it's still not a path to the playoffs.
Yeah,
there's just not enough spots there, not enough spots in the dance. Again, we talked about how the Bills and Chiefs and Ravens aren't probably going to go away, and the other teams at the top. Burrow is not driving a stake into it. Burrow wants to come back. He wants to play on Thanksgiving, apparently. If he can't do that against the Ravens, he wants to face the Bills. I think it's just going to be too little too late. I think it's almost an unnecessary risk. But at the same time, if he's healthy, you have to put him back out there, because Joe Flacco is playing with a bad shoulder right now. You have to do something. So I'll believe it when I see it with Burrow, and by then, which will be another week or two away, it might just be obviously too little too late.
And just, sorry.
No. When I see a lopsided score like this, and especially one, the Jaguars are admittedly a lot better. 35-6 over the Chargers. I go, are the Chargers that bad, or is it just a one-off there?
Kind of a one-off where the Chargers have all these injuries on their offensive line. A couple of their offensive tackles have been out for weeks. They've been rotating guys in there to see what happens. Herbert took a couple of sacks early. Couldn't get the ball out. He took a hit. He was out of the game for a little bit. They then pulled him late in it. And it gave the Jaguars an opportunity to get a couple of points off turnovers, run the ball, took a 21-6 lead, and then everything got out of hand right there. So I don't think the Chargers are that bad. And the Jaguars are this ridiculous up and down team where based on how many penalties they commit, how many dumb mistakes they commit, they can beat the Chiefs, but then they can turn around to lose to some of the worst teams in the NFL.
And the Week 11 dessert tonight, we lick our chops at the Raiders and Cowboys from Vegas. Mike, set the table for this one. What are you looking forward to in this contest?
The Cowboys made some moves at the trade deadline to improve their defense. Most notably Quinn and Williams, a really good defensive tackle to shore up their run defense. They're still in position to make some kind of run if they can win some games by scores like 35-27 instead of losing 38-35. The Raiders are a mess. They are an absolute train wreck behind the scenes, on the field, and every other way. This should be an easy win for the Cowboys, but never assume that anything is going to be easy for the Dallas Cowboys.
The Raiders, that's the best part about this. The Raiders are such a mess, but if you want to make it a little interesting, just give them the Dallas Cowboys tonight, and they will make it interesting. Mike, just a chance, please let our listeners and viewers know where they can find you, what you're working on, and all that good stuff.
You can find me at the Too Deep Zone at MikeTanier.substack.com. Big power ratings up right now. Later in the week, we're going to do a feature on the Colts, and we're going to do a feature on the Browns.
Oh,
okay. And maybe future Argonauts quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
Mike, we love you, man. Have a great week, and we'll talk next Monday.
You got it. Take care and enjoy your week.
Thank you, Mike.
Nails it. Our NFL guests, man. Garofalo Fridays and Tanier Mondays. That's rock solid. That's a good wrap. Yeah. Love Mike Tanier.
Bookends.
Yeah. Once again, MikeTanier.substack.com is where you can find him. The Too Deep Zone. It's an informative, sprinkled with a little comedy as well. A good newsletter, bloggish type of page. If you want your NFL analysis, Mike Tanier's got it. He joins us every Monday, 7:45. And he was joining us as well on the Firehouse Hotline. 15 Firehouse subs locations across Edmonton and the greater area. Get one today. Dig into the brisket hat trick, Dave, or the hook and ladder made to order. Hot. Hearty. You'll be satisfied.
Yes, I will. No, I'm just
what do you got going? Are you texting the Bears Jewelers inbox?
No, I'm
Who
not
are
texting
you?
anyone.
Do you have a handle in there?
No.
Are you Scuba Steve? It is you, isn't it? Why are people, there's been people texting in, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Nasty chat in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Some people are saying, hey, what was with that guy on the Alouettes wearing that thing on his helmet?
Well, that's a Guardian cap.
Are we that? Are you that? I mean, we're not actually.
Well, they may not watch a lot of football. That's a Guardian
But we've
cap.
seen it in the NFL now I just don't understand how. I just.
Was he the only player out on the field in a Guardian cap? I
yes.
didn't see any
last
others.
night he was. Yeah,
that's fine.
But are people just still coming around to what
player's choice?
It's a Guardian cap, yes.
Yes, and it provides
all over the NFL
layer.
Yeah. It's not just a quirky CFL thing.
No, it's another layer, right, in protecting the head.
Yeah, and it
does look a little odd. I mean, but I don't fixate.
But I wonder what the time was when they went from leather caps to like helmets. You know what I mean? There must have been. Look at this.
Well, they didn't have.
Imagine not knowing what a helmet.
Edmonton Sports Talk to debate the merits of the aesthetics.
No nasty chat.
No, there was no nasty chat back then.
Gord Mamer in the nasty chat says the color matching on the Guardian wasn't the best. Well,
no, it was a bit off. It looked like the old Alouettes blue.
This should have been the old gray. Like just really go off and have the old logo with the Roadrunner running. It's one of those old Guardian caps.
So they're rooting around in the tickle trunk, and they go, "Yeah, here's an old one. Here's a prototype. Take this."
A prototype. Yeah. That'll keep you good. Nasty chat's hum along. Abutski says I started Brissett over Goff yesterday. That explains my good mood.
Ooh, a good play there.
Yeah, well, that'll get you there. Somebody asking you think it's the work of AI Wannick. That was the spitting thing. Kyle on the bench and see what it is. Brock Purdy returning. Niners, big win. That NFC West, too, is a fascinating week-to-week affair.
Delicious mess.
And the Cardinals, they can still ball out. They're mathematically out of it now. But Rams 8-2, Seahawks and Niners. Seahawks 7-3, Niners 7-4. As Purdy comes back and gets San Fran the win, Hernan will be happy about that. Hour 2 of the Nielsen Show is presented by Game Sense. If you are sprinkling a little something tonight, either Oilers Sabres, which will get you set for Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up in hour number 3, or the Monday Nighter, Cowboys and Raiders. Use your Game Sense. Stay informed. Visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your Game Sense. Nielsen Show presented by Weiss Johnson as well here on Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Coming up in hour 3, actually right now we need a contestant for kind of easy trivia as you've got the question. You
wrote him Sunday afternoon.
Also, this is a little dated.
No, it's fresh.
Okay.
Right out of the oven.
Who plays in Grey Cup 112?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Where is Grey Cup held this year?
What color is the Grey Cup?
Yeah.
Which, again, it's named after... Some people spell it with an A, and it's...
Have I told the story of Gizmo and Willie Pless years ago going out, and they would go out sort of on their own, and they would do speaking engagements many years ago, and they printed up promotional shirts. It was coming off an Eskimo Grey Cup victory.
Okay.
I'm guessing the 89 one would have been, or maybe it was 93.
No, 89, the Riders beat
that's
that
right. And
great Eskimos team.
Yeah, that's brilliant. 93 would have been. And so they took these shirts around and sold them, sort of out of the trunk of the car.
Just cash.
And the gray in Grey Cup was spelled wrong. Okay.
Spelled correctly, but not for the purposes of Grey Cup.
For the purposes of what they were representing. Yes.
Like some people thinking that since the cup is colored in that tone,
that
like
it would be
that's just the Grey Cup.
Yeah, no connection to the
silver
color.
Cup. Yeah.
No connection to the color at all.
No, which is it's an interesting play on words. But if you know, you know.
Closest
you can really tell an OG if they spell it.
Closest to the pin.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for there.
Yeah. Man, I would pay a lot of money for one of those shirts, though. Like that's
Yes,
with the
you
spelling
would.
error. Like
yes, and our balls are bigger.
And
Some
our,
of that
and
vintage,
our
that
officials
era.
are human.
Yes, they are.
They're going to be.
That wouldn't be a bad shirt, actually.
Flesh and bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Andre Prue's face blown up on it, just
sweating
profusely. Text in Trev. I want to play trivia right now. 780-218-9999. He will pick. And then when you text me by your phone, I can't stress that enough. A lot of people text in and then they
ring her on.
They seem to
right,
turn their
Trevor?
phone off and put it in a drawer.
Three calls I made on Friday.
Yes, you did.
I think they're punking us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Ring her up.
Ring her up, please.
Thank you.
Ring her up. Text in 780-218-9999 if you want to play trivia. $25 on the line to Mr. Mike's and a Club Beat Loop remix from the Vault. We got 3 questions too many. Busy third hour. We will discuss Oilers Sabres with an orange and blue breakfast as well. Jeff Hamilton out of Winnipeg. He will join us via the phone because
To
Grey
put
Cup.
a bow on top of the 112th.
And we will not talk about it anymore. Marmot Basin Snow Report, Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge Pickup, and the wrap for William Huff. We'll take a sports update here with YouTube, Trev. If you're listening on 95.7 Cruise FM, a quick break. Word from some sponsors and a traffic update from Justin Dervin. And of course, if you are on iHeart, tune in, AEST.com or the YouTube. We'll have a sports update right now brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are your 2025 Grey Cup champions after defeating the Montreal Allouettes 25-17. Trevor Harris threw for over 300 yards and Tommy Stevens powered in a pair of touchdowns to seal the win in Saskatchewan's first Grey Cup in 12 years and the 5th in franchise history. Only 5 games around the NHL last night. Penguins shut out the Predators 4-0. Canucks roared back with 6 unanswered to beat the Lightning 6-2. Wild edged the Golden Knights 3-2 in overtime. The Red Wings doubled up the Rangers 2-1. In the first place, Avalanche handled the Islanders 4-1. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers are in Buffalo to face the Sabres. Catch the DCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola and Benny Thompson starting at 4 o'clock Puck drop goes at 5. 5 other games around the NHL tonight, including the Canucks taking on the Panthers and the Canadiens visiting Columbus to play the Blue Jackets. 8 games in the NBA last night and 8 more tonight as the Raptors look to make it 4 straight when they take on the 4-9 Hornets. Tip-off is set for 5:30. Jalen Hurts ran in a touchdown as the Philadelphia Eagles took care of the Detroit Lions 69 on your NFL Sunday Nighter. Week 11 wraps up tonight with the Raiders hosting the Cowboys. You can catch all the action with Lieutenant Eric live at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino 4 Road, with loaded burger specials, free underground parking, and your next chance to qualify for a trip for 2 to see the Broncos take on the Raiders in Vegas. And back to hockey, the first place Oil Kings remain red hot, sweeping both games this weekend, extending their win streak to 8. They're back on the ice tomorrow when they play Penticton. This sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
All right, 8:07, Little April Wine playing in here. Hour 3 of the Nielson Show is on. Dave Jameson in for Dustin Nielson. Lieutenant Eric, YouTube trivia, you heard there in a sports update. Still some time. Text in I want to play trivia to 780-218-9999. That is the Paris Jewelers inbox. And Trev will track one of you down. You're playing for $25 to Mr. Mike's. We're looking to go 46-0 in the 95.7 Cruise FM era. And, of course, unlocking a Club Beat Loop remix from The Vault. Nielson Show coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. 3-piece bone-in chicken, just $8 right now at all Popeyes locations. There's a few of them around town, so check them out. Get that 3-piece meal in you today. Good way to kick off the week. Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnson and EST presented by Play Alberta. Coming up, We'll do some Orange and Blue Breakfast as well. Talk Sabres Oilers. That'll be midway through the hour. We'll revisit Grey Cup 112 from Winnipeg. Jeff Hamilton, boots on the ground there, joining us. We'll get his thoughts on the party vibe throughout the weekend and the game itself yesterday, in which the Roughriders victorious 25-17 over the Montreal Alouettes. A Marmot Basin Snow Report. Sully Sports Bar and Lounge, a pick'em for your Monday Nighter, and the wrap for William Huff, all still to come. Hangout coming up 9 to 11 here on EST, and I will be back one last time, at least in the near future here, with the Lock Shop later today, 11 to noon. I'll be joined by Huss out of Winnipeg Sports Talk, and we'll be chopping that up 11 to noon here on EST, and of course, programming going throughout the day, up until 6 o'clock. Reed Wilkins Show 3 to 6. And of course, it is Oilers game day, which means a GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola. What's puck drop tonight again? 5:30? 5. So he'll be coming your way 4 o'clock. They'll take a break on the Reed Wilkins Show. Be back at 5. Take you home 5 to 6. Reed Wilkins and Jason Milne. Here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice.
Not yet sold out in Buffalo.
For Edmonton Sports.
So
Not
seats,
yet?
Not yet, but
good
close.
Seats available. We had a few texters saying they're on their way to the game tonight.
Really?
Inquiring which Oilers team will they see, the Jekyll or the Hyde. Now,
which one is
inform
better?
me. Well, I was going to ask, because it's Dr. Like, this is the Frankenstein
Dr.
thing
Jekyll.
again, right? Dr. Jekyll's the
Mr.
good
Hyde.
guy? Or is Hyde the bad? Like, Hyde's the monster that he drinks the potion and then he
I
turns
look
into...
over at Benny or Trev
You're not
or
touching
whatever.
this one.
Are you not able to help?
I have no idea
Why don't you
what
go
you guys
to
are.
Chad at
Like
GPT?
I know the phrase, but I didn't know.
So there's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Jekyll. Actually, Bugs Bunny does a good reenactment of it, right?
I'm going to go with Jekyll is the good.
So his name is Dr. Jekyll, and he's in the laboratory, and he's cooking up potions, and I don't know what he wanted to... This was like the advent of sports steroids, maybe. He was trying to, like, an HGH, if you will. He took too much... Too much of this HGH, and then he turns into, like, Mr. Hyde.
Oh, okay, I know that.
The cream and the,
I've seen
the
that.
cream and the clear.
So I think the saying derives from, like, it's either the good or the bad. It's like a yin-yang thing. I think...
Guaranteed win night for me.
For who, though?
For the Oilers.
Oh, I thought you...
Nice.
Every Sabres fan gets a free...
Sabres back home after their first
chicken
road
sandwich.
win of the year, by the way, on Saturday night.
One of those 5 teams under 500 right now in the NHL probably deserve to be there as well. Yeah. But again, shopping Alex Tuck, maybe a show me game, show us game. Mr. Hyde.
The Oilers getting a close look.
Yeah.
At future Oiler Alex Tuck. Okay.
Yeah. Trev, did you wrangle somebody up on? Somebody picked up the phone.
Yes, they did. This is John the Breadman.
Hello,
John the Breadman.
John Tanier.
John?
Yes, sir.
Hey, John, have you played trivia before?
I have.
Perfect. So you know how we do. We're looking to stretch it to 46-0 in the 95.7 Cruise FM era, so no pressure there. And you're playing for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. New location open now in Bonnie Doon. You can check out MrMikes.ca for more details. You can also order online. Skip the dishes and DoorDash. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually. We'll start the ticker after Dave reads the first question. Need 3 out of 5. Good luck.
Who won the Grey Cup? Who won the Grey Cup?
Riders.
Does Trevor Harris play for the Riders or Alouettes?
Riders.
Does Jason Moss coach the Alouettes? Who did the Oilers beat on Saturday?
Hurricanes.
Name one Buffalo Sabre player.
Alex Tuck.
I'm a figure skater. People get pretty attached.
3 and 2, the windup and the pitch.
Liter of cola. Do we make liter of cola?
Who do you think you are? I am.
The hockey god.
I am.
The hockey god.
I am.
The hockey god.
Big scars. Myself, listen to Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry.
Fly ball, right field. Back goes Beltran. He's in front of the wall, and it bounces off the wall.
Nobody happy when you're not playing, so actually I was frustrating.
Puig is on his way to second.
Team names, mascots.
Puig is on his way to third.
No puck possession.
The throw's not going to be in time. Gonzalez has already scored. A triple for Puig, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
I don't want a large barba.
And Puig explodes with emotion.
Do an exorcism and see if they'll grant us a little more leeway.
Adrian Gonzalez sends this place into a frenzy.
Liter is French. Give me some cola.
From my hometown.
I'm a figure skater.
I don't know what that is.
In the offensive zone yet for this Oil King.
So that Club Beat Loop remix ends there when it was an Oil Kings broadcast. Corey Graham on the call and it cut out. And I used the cutout. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations, John the Breadman. They don't ask how. They just ask
How many?
Boy, I don't know if that was a gamesmanship or a little showmanship from him, like pausing the pregnant pause to answer a
What he was
relatively
doing was gesturing
easy
and just
question.
Bring it.
There was a long ticker too, hey?
Yeah.
Like he knew he had some time to play.
Generous ticker.
Listeners and viewers wiping their brow in the nasty chat on YouTube as we survived 46-0 now. We're looking to go to 47 in the 95.7 Cruise FM era.
We're chasing
tomorrow.
destiny.
Dustin will be pleased to know that the record is intact upon his return.
And the next person will get it, and Dustin will go, "Can you believe it? Can you believe it?" Yes, I can, actually, Dustin.
To quote Pierre Maguire, I can. Still one of the best calls in sports history.
Remind me.
Gord Miller. I think it was Eberle. Was it Eberle? World Juniors.
Oh, classic. All-timer. Can you believe it? I can, actually.
I'm right down here.
and not even giving Gord like a pause on the call to let it breathe. I can, and then he goes straight into the analytic. Like, if you look at his numbers, they're coming out on the ice or something. Why? I can't because...
So it's actually not that impressive if you look at...
Yeah. You look at... Oh, God.
Let me draw it up.
Just to ruin the moment.
Pierre Maguire, like... That Kessel interview too at the How's your breath? Like I just I love it.
It's pretty bad, hey?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh no, your conditioning.
Yeah, Kessel and him. Good. I need them to do a podcast.
Awkward performer.
Pierre Maguire and Phil Kessel. Give it to me.
Yeah, Kessel is
call it PP.
Yeah, that was so good.
Oh, boy. Moving along here, 3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. He's been doing a podcast for 40 years and still nobody has noticed. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. It's a podcast about selling cars, if you can believe it. Can you believe it?
Yeah, you know what? I can actually believe that. You know, when I think about podcasts, because everyone's got one, that would be a useful podcast, would it not?
Well, Tony, one of the managers at Boston Pizza Westgate, he also is starting a podcast, and he wants to do it on restaurant tours, like people that run bars and lounges and stuff, and bringing them in and getting because the stories from the kitchen. You know, Trev, you worked at a BP. Like, I mean, anybody who's worked in that industry, I mean, probably not fit for air.
You were a
but
bartender, right? You were a tender?
I was the bartender.
Tended bar.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have your what do they call it? The
liquor
certificate?
license, the bar license. Yeah,
the bar server thing.
What is it?
You don't need it, but I mean,
ProServe.
ProServe. Thank
that's
you.
what it was.
Yes, thank you.
How can I forget that? Yes, I do have it still. I think you have to renew it or whatever.
Yes, you
If
do.
you're still in
It's
the
not for
industry.
lifetime.
But like every
renewal?
6 years, something like that. It's
So
quite
you
a
can
while.
get behind and crank out a Moscow Mule or something like
course.
that for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
well, you have to keep the ID on him too if somebody asks. No, I
Yeah, I
Have it
got
on
this.
a
I got
lanyard.
this.
have
Where's
my
your
ProServe. Yeah.
I'm a pro.
Social media boys, Dave. Where can people find you online?
At the Dave Jameson, and that's the only place.
That's it.
Yeah, I've really bought into X.
Well, you love the DMs mostly. You're not so much for the timeline, but you like getting in the.
I just like mixing it up. What are you doing over there?
Cracking a 6 o'clocker lager. I think I
not?
deserve one.
Sure you do.
Yeah, it's been a long.
It's been
48,
you've had a run.
76 hours, 72. Is that the?
You've had a.
Yeah, and let's keep it going here. Yeah, Lock Shop today, 11 to noon. Trev, where can people find you online?
You can follow me at YouTube_Trev on Twitter. Or I did dabbling back on the Insta a little bit. You want to give that a follow, YouTube_Trev as well.
I raised an arched eyebrow when he says I'm dabbling a little bit on the Insta.
Yeah.
The account is live.
I'm not proud.
Well,
the dock side.
It's a great app. I prefer that app.
It is good, but it's just, man, the videos I just get on the reels.
You can't watch reels.
I
Reels
can't
are
stop,
bad.
man.
No.
Like that's what it was. On the weekends, I wake up. Sometimes I found myself scrolling.
It can be addicting
for over an hour. I'm like, oh, geez.
They say
good.
that's what's going to end up like ending us.
Taking us down.
Where we're done. Like, yeah, that's
Not good.
Well, we feel close to it.
Some more than others.
Well, we're close.
Question number 1, boys. Grey Cup 112 in the books. Which 2 teams will meet in Grey Cup 113 in Calgary next season? A Grey Cup a lot closer to home here for EST, and one in which we might be, all hands on deck, so to speak.
Oh, you think?
I'd
Take
love to
this
be
on the road?
Well, it's about I'm going. I'll book my
Regardless
vacation
of
now.
whether you're
I
doing
missed out
this.
on this one, and I'm going to hand in a request to Iwanek when he comes back tomorrow.
I will go with the British Columbia Lions, and let's see. I'm trying to think who will be quarterbacking the. I think you know what? I would not be stunned if Montreal's back there. With
Neither would I.
Alexander?
No.
And
Healthy.
I don't know who their free agents are, any of that stuff. I'll go BC Montreal.
It's more of a spitballing here and just kind of, because again, we have the free agent window and all that to go, and CFL rosters move quick.
I'm guessing wildly. I could see Calgary there, frankly, with the strides they made this year.
We keep forgetting about VA, and it's just, and their defense was lights out before the Florian Romele injury.
Right.
That really set them back a bit. But yeah, I mean, Calgary's won, and it's a home Grey Cup for them. I would lean BC. I would lean BC if they get the defense in line. And again, I think most people are familiar with my opinions of Mike Benavides. Probably a great person. I'm not saying that, but I just think
can attest to that.
Their defensive scheme left a lot wanting, especially when you're putting up the points that they do on the offensive side. So I'll go with BC just because Rourke, I'm sure he's not his head's not being turned anymore. He's focused. There's no tryouts. There's none of this
fully Canadian
BS. He's in like Sin Sun, and I'm with you there in BC, and I am with. It's boring radio, but I will say the Alouettes as well. The East is for me right now too much up in the air. I could see it being Ottawa. I could see Dinwiddie going there, and maybe a healthy Drew Brown if he's healthy. Everybody picked Red Blacks this season. Under the leadership of Dice, I'd never really believed in them, but I thought Drew Brown, with his health, by all accounts, Dinwiddie's worked really well with quarterbacks.
Yes, he has.
In terms of getting them up to where they need to be. The Chad Kelly question remains. Where's he go? Stay in Toronto? What do they do? Hamilton as well with Bo. I mean,
does he retire?
Well, and
slide over to the panel.
Well, it's a race to the panel now because Zach Collaros has kind of put in some competition. Yeah. So.
And he was, surprised.
I really enjoyed him
before do that, but I thought, that's a guy I could see doing it.
I enjoyed it because you could tell that he was working through the pain of being in the stadium where he plays home games and having the rival there and all that. That was kind of funny, but he provided a good modern day analysis using a lot of terminology, which didn't gross me out. I mean, that's what you want. Mm-hmm. Even if sometimes you don't understand it, they did a good job of explaining it. So I loved Zach on the panel, but Trev, who do you think Grey Cup 113 Calgary next season, EST on the scene?
Yeah, well, first off, EST, I love that on the scene. I am definitely there. Yeah, that is going to be awesome. I cannot wait, and it makes me feel good because I was also thinking the exact same choices as you guys, BC and Montreal, but for the sake of being different, I will. Let's go Roughriders. Let's go Alouettes. Well, they run it back to this year. Yeah, let's do that. 2.0, baby.
A lot of people saying, and again, I jamming 33 on the nasty chat, Edmonton, Ottawa with a winky emoji. Mm-hmm. Look, the Elks with Fajardo, they were close. You need to be in the dance. It's a 9-team league. You get competitive. They were the team, if they would have made the playoffs, that I would have not wanted to face the way that they were playing down the stretch.
But there's a leap now.
There is
from
a leap.
Where they're at.
Yeah.
So that's 2 back-to-back years with 7 wins, correct?
Yes, but first year of the new quote-unquote era.
Well, yes, and it is a new era.
Yeah, it is. You have to, yeah.
So there were significant gains, many of them off the field for the organization. So, yeah, I feel the same way that they would have been a team that, had they got in this year, they would have been, a dark horse, but I think they're probably 2 years away.
Supersized Indiana Jones says Elks Ticats. A good shout there as well. Don't mind it. Again, that's the beauty of the Canadian Football League is a chip in a chair, and you, who's to say?
Yeah.
Question 2, and that leads into, we were just talking about it. Who would you rather see full-time on the TSN panel, broadcast in a color variety, or otherwise? Zach Collaros, Bo Levi Mitchell, or I'll leave it open, other.
Now you're talking the panel, not in the booth.
Well, anything really. Like who would you rather listen to their tones week in, week out, whether it be on a panel, in the booth, whatever, between Bo or Zach?
I've seen more of Bo on the panel, right?
Because a lot of people can't stand Bo, though. That's the thing. He's got an air about him that people just kind of.
Well, but see, I take that.
I get it.
I would take that, and also if he's going to be on the panel, can you do the light stuff as well? His football IQ is going to be, off the charts, but can you do some other stuff like Milt Stiegel can, fool around on the panel.
Even Lapo, aside from his voice yesterday, he's a good.
Do they get the joke? Is what the line? Can you go outside of yourself as a performer, because that's what you're doing. You're not just there. I mean, God, in the NFL, take those guys off the desk and move them in front of the big screen. They can.
Some are more naturally.
Right, exactly. So I would go Bo, only because I haven't seen Zach Collaros do enough of this stuff for me to make it, render a judgment.
And Collaros has a lot of that. I was getting yesterday, a lot of dryness, which I kind of like. He's got a dry humor about him, which I really kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take both in that sense. I think Bo and him would provide a good mix.
See, I'm a believer. Yes, it's nice to have long-time iconic broadcasters. But in this day and age,
you need to freshen it.
You do need to freshen up. And
Game's
one
changed.
of the things the CFL, of the many that it struggles with, not the on-field product, is relating to a younger consumer.
Yep.
And there is a shelf life for people, and they just lose their relevance.
Yep. Josh texts in, anyone but Matt Dunnigan. And he's not a... Well, I mean, you've got your wish there. I mean,
he's gone now.
Fat Efron says, I'll take anyone over Luke Wilson. See, and Luke Wilson does, he tiptoes that line between, and especially the online stuff from him, as we've seen. I mean, that we don't need to get into that. But he does provide a good, when it's just nuts and bolts of football.
But he's memorable.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. Well, I obviously have been watching him for several years, and he has developed into a really quite a good broadcaster.
Yep.
And yes, his online persona... But I'm not so sure that some of that isn't, maybe all of it is quite deliberate.
Sure.
He's being...
The world's a stage, Dave, right?
Provocative.
Yeah.
And I'm not even so sure that he hasn't been told to do that by TSN. They've said, look, we're going to give you, don't, get offensive or unnecessarily, so you got leash.
Here's
so
the code of conduct. Familiarize yourself with it, but...
There's the line.
Yeah.
And just go right up to it. And then we'll let you know if you're pushing over.
Yeah, give it a kiss.
Yeah,
Question 3. This will lead into the Origin Blue Breakfast here. Given the Kempe extension in LA,
oh no,
who or what should Oilers, and specifically Oilers fans in terms of the walking down the shopping aisle, turn their head to next? And
what are my options?
I know. Well, you got Tuck. I mean, that's it. But I'm looking, and Trev, you can, aside from Tuck, maybe that's the easy answer. But who else do you got on your list here that you cross off and then you go to next?
Jeez. Man, this is going to be I don't know. I guess I need to look at the options as of right now. I don't really know. There's no one jumping out.
Trev's thinking, I wonder if we could get Matthew Schaefer out of New York.
Matthew Schaefer, yeah. I am a big fish kind of guy.
I
like
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There's no wrong answer here.
Hunter, Trev. You're a big game hunter, Trev.
It is like for me, like if it's big fish hunting, it's got to be Alex Tuck. Like he's the one player I'm like, oh, that would be unreal. I've always I've been quite fond of his play. He's kind of the real deal, man. He's a solid player. So what are the chances of him coming here? Very slim. I doubt that's going to happen. It's probably going to be like last year, come deadline, where someone that just no one, like, Jake Wallman, no one was thinking that he was going to be an Oiler. So it's going to be something like that. Who that player is right now, I don't know.
Have yours say 780-218-9999. I know a lot of you have lists probably multiple pages long. Give us those. Give us those unheralded, untalked about names that you maybe have on your wish list or Sears catalog.
Me a favor, as this is my last show for a bit until someone decides otherwise, is really continue that storyline for a long time, like we used to do with Shea Weber, right?
A
Dave,
bit.
What would it take to get Shea Weber out of Nashville?
You loved those texts, eh?
Then when Shea Weber goes to Montreal, what would it take to get Shea Weber out of Montreal? Right? Because Oiler fans do a lot of things really well, but we really fixate on one person.
Yes.
Just narrow in.
And then you take it even beyond their career. You still continue.
When they're out of the game.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Ryan Smith.
What do you think it would take?
You think Smitty?
Still something in the tank?
Anyways, let us know. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Still looking for that text of the day for Royal Pizza. Still making it great. $20 to RP on the line as well with the best text of the day. Nasty Chat, Pinto Creek says Barzal. Matthew Barzal. And a lot of people saying Shea Weber is still on their wish lists. Keeping with spirit. Thank you. That's really good.
Keep that light on the back
keep
porch.
the light on. Orange and Blue Breakfast right now, quickly. For GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components from around, turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton, Northern Alberta area for over 50 years. Once again, Tom Gazzola has your GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show today, 4 o'clock leading up to 5 o'clock puck drop in Buffalo as the Oilers continue their road trip, and he'll be back following tonight's action, taking you home with the GCL Diesel post-game show. Oilers in Buffalo today. They're in D.C. Wednesday, then Tampa Thursday, capping off the road trip Saturday evening in Florida. Stanley Cup rematch,
That's a rugged,
battling the Panthers.
Rugged trip. Longest.
The ending of the trip is the.
That's the buzzsaw.
That's the buzz. You got the back-to-back, and those Floridian teams always. Mm-hmm. But look, Hurricanes too. On they're no slouch, and you saw what they did. So,
they are not.
Just going over the lines, last time we saw them for the host Sabres tonight, it's Thompson between Tuck and Ryan McLeod. Noah Ostlund between Jack Quinn and Isaac Rosen. Tyson Kozak centering Jordan Greenway and Josh Doan. And the fourth line consisting of Peyton Krebs, Beck Mallenstein, and Josh Dunn. Pairings for the Sabres right now, as we know them, Rasmus Dahlin back after some time off there with his wife, Rasmus Dahlin and Matthias Samuelsson. Owen Power and Connor Timmins, Bowen Byram and Jacob Bryson. And in terms of goaltenders for the Sabres, Alex Lyon and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, those two goalies there that were on probably somebody's lists for this market as well. Maybe still are for some of you. The Oilers, last time we saw them, the return of Zach Hyman, 11 hits in that game, really picking up where he left off from the playoffs last year, smashing the record for hits during that run. McDavid, Savoy Hyman, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Roslovic, Henrique, Frederick, and Mangiapane, and Philip, Lazar, and Janmark, your fourth line. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Wallman, Kulak, Regula, and Skinner, Pickard.
Regula?
Yeah, but, I mean,
I've heard so many now.
Yeah.
I've heard
Regula.
Guys
who aren't tough enough to play tonight. Nuge still in the IR. Kapanen scheduled back beginning of December for the Buffalo Sabres. A list of walking wounded here. Josh Norris, Justin Danforth, Yuri Kulich, Zach Benson, Jason Zucker, and Michael Kesselring. Of course, a name that we're familiar with in this market is out tonight. Keys to a victory in Buffalo tonight, aside from showing up.
Just get it to overtime.
That's where they shine.
Yes,
keep it tight. Don't try to go out and win the game. Try to keep it tied.
Okay. Let me reset. Don't overlook Buffalo.
No, that's
okay. I
know. Yeah, this team has a tradition of playing down sometimes to competition.
Yes.
And teams now see the Oilers as a bar too to play up against. So no games are easy. But Trev, what do you think is a key to an Oiler victory tonight?
I would go with bring it to them and bring it to them early. This Buffalo Sabres team is very fragile. Mm-hmm. If they're down, they don't really have much of a fight in the game. They don't care. You could sell it like that. It's in the players' faces. It's
you guys are overlooking professional pride and what it means to play for the Sabres.
Yes, we're required to say that, but then...
But also, yes,
obligated.
They are humans.
Yes, and you can see it in the players' faces. You can see it in the fans' faces. This Oilers team is more than... it should be. They should be able to, get up early, and once they do, just keep hammering them. That's what I would say.
Dr. Evil inquires, what would it take to get Liam Reddix out of the Belfast Giants? We love our Euros, right? Right now, guys, nice. That's kind of the play there. Great text there. Great drop. Maybe that's the name now that we go with. The next Shea Weber. Liam Reddix is
what would it take?
Flag it in a good way.
Yeah.
Bones says he's clinging to his sanity like the Guardian cap hanging on to Rambo's helmet. I hope everything's going okay for you this morning, Bones. I don't know why your sanity is. Maybe it's Monday. He's got the Mondays.
It's Monday, and it's, we don't know the kind of weekend he's come through.
Let's get to a sports update quickly. Jeff Hamilton scheduled to join us after the break. We'll put a bow on the Grey Cup 112. He'll join us from Winnipeg. Sports update here with YouTube. Trev, if you're listening on 95.7 Cruise FM, a quick break with some traffic. If you're on iHeart, TuneIn, EdmontonSports.com, or the YouTube. Once again, hit that thumbs up, give us a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already. 9 away from changing 200. Love to see it on an Oilers game day. The sports update is for the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Limited Christmas party dates still available. Whether you have 50 or 150 people, we can host your party with a savory buffet dinner and quench your thirst with our full-service bar. Go to egmgolf.com for more details.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are your 2025 Grey Cup winners after defeating the Alouettes 25-17. Trevor Harris threw for over 300 yards, while Tommy Stevens punched in a pair of touchdowns in the win. This is their first Grey Cup in 12 years and 5th in franchise history. In the NFL, Jalen Hurts rushed in one touchdown as the Philadelphia Eagles handled the Detroit Lions 16-9 on your NFL Sunday Nighter. Week 11 wraps up tonight as the Raiders host the Cowboys. You can catch all the action with Lieutenant Eric live at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road. Enjoy loaded burger specials, free heated underground parking, and your next chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for two to see the Broncos take on the Raiders in Vegas. Just 5 games in the NHL last night. The Penguins blanked the Predators 4-0. Canucks stormed back with 6 unanswered goals over the Lightning. 6-2 is the score. The Wild defeat the Golden Knights in overtime 3-2. Red Wings doubled up on the Rangers 2-1. And the first place Avs beat the Islanders 4-1. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers hit the ice in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Be sure to tune into the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola and Benny Thompson starting at 4 o'clock. Puck drop goes at 5. 5 other games around the league tonight, including the Canucks taking on the Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens in Columbus playing the Blue Jackets. 8 games in the association last night and 8 games on the NBA slate tonight, where the Raptors take to the court against the Hornets. The Raps look to extend their win streak to 4 games. Tip-off goes at 5:30. Back to hockey, where the first place Oil Kings cannot be stopped after winning both games over the weekend, putting their win streak now up to 8. They don't hit the ice again until tomorrow when they play Penticton. The sports update is brought to you by the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Limited Christmas party dates still available. Whether you have 50 or 150 people, we can host your party with a savory buffet dinner and quench your thirst with our full-service bar. Go to egmgolf.com for more details. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
Cause we never seem to get very far.
Nielson Show continuing here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Nielson Show presented by Weiss Johnson. EST presented by Play Alberta. Dave Jamieson again in for Dustin Nielsen. He'll be returning from Grey Cup back on the show tomorrow. And your thoughts, 780-218-9999 on Grey Cup 112 in the books. We'll be going over that right now with Jeff Hamilton. He'll be joining us here on the Firehouse Subs hotline. 15 Firehouse Subs locations across the Edmonton greater area. The Hook and Ladder, the Brisket Hat Trick, and more. Easy to grab, hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs, hot, hearty, made to satisfy. Jeff Hamilton, Winnipeg News, CFL Reporters President, originally wanted to join. Well, we had him scheduled, penciled in for hour 2. Yep. I said on Grey Cup Monday, would you mind joining an hour later? He took that and ran with it. He then said too that he would join over the phone because we would be forgiven to say on a Monday morning after. Maybe you don't want to.
Not as fresh as.
But he's joining us here with the video yelling. You look great, Jeff. Yeah. Thanks again for your time, man. How you doing?
Honestly, guys, it's amazing what you can do in 15 minutes, let alone another hour of sleep on a Monday morning like this. The thought that keeps running through my mind is how much do I like and respect Dave Jamieson to commit to such an interesting time after an exciting week. But you know what, guys, it's awesome. I'm glad to be here. It was a great week, and I look forward to chopping it up with you and whatever else you want to chat about. Yeah,
and before we get to kind of the nuts and bolts of the game, I mean, paint us a picture of your week there. I mean, that's your hood. Grey Cup, Winnipeg. We always kind of say Grey Cups on the prairies hit a little different. How was your week? You're feeling good, healthy? I mean, you're looking fine. But I assume a lot of liberal partying as well mixed into that. The work that you had to do as well.
Yeah, the mantra of work hard, party harder is kind of weaned its way off of my system over the last few years, especially as I creep towards my 40s, and I don't have that same stamina. Obviously, someone who works at the Winnipeg Free Press, I've covered the Bombers prior to this season in the last 5 Grey Cups, and that was the ultimate kind of balancing act where you're trying to cover the team that you cover on a regular basis, enjoy the week, and then I do a lot of obviously league-wide stuff. So this year felt a little bit different, certainly. I mean, it felt obviously at home as well, understanding all the facilities, all the areas. Like, I have a pretty good idea of most stadiums as someone who's traveled in this league for the last decade, but not like I know Winnipeg. So that certainly helped. With that, though, the fact that the Bombers weren't in it, I didn't have to be at every single practice, right? I didn't have to be looking at every single rep and trying to take away or glean information from, whatever you can, or have that internal competition on who's going to have the best stories of the week because you want to impress because the team, again, that you cover is in it. That pressure was off. But the pressure of it being at home was fully on. I'm also the president of the Football Reporters of Canada. We had our annual breakfast on Sunday. We got to honor Judy Owen and Paul Friesen, 2 Winnipeg people for this class. So, I put on the breakfast. I put on the hospitality suite. I felt like a host. So I felt like that added, and I don't want to call pressure. It's pressure that I would invite any day of the week. But it was pressure to kind of show my colleagues the city that I lived in. And so, I thought it was an incredibly busy week in a lot of different ways. I felt more like I was hosting this week than I was necessarily covering it from a traditional sports reporter standpoint. But it was amazing. The one thing, I will add to this, I had absolutely no power behind it, obviously, was the weather, guys. Like, the weather worked all week long. And anyone who's familiar with Winnipeg, when you get towards middle of November, we don't really have a fall. We kind of just fall right into winter. It feels in a lot of ways. And while I wouldn't call this fall weather here, it could have been snow. It could have been minus 15, 20. It could have been, a lot of different things. And the fact that it was hovering around +2 and maybe a bit in the minus during the game, and throughout the week we were on the sidelines watching, that was again, nothing that I did personally or anybody for that matter, but it made the week, I think, even more enjoyable.
We'll give you credit for it, though.
Jeff, what was the level of concern within that city and within that fan base that O'Shea would leave? They announced that he is staying. We'll be there for 26, but he did make the trip to Toronto to kick the tires with MLSE, and but he's back, and so a great sense of relief there.
Yeah, I think so. I think. As a general sense, absolutely. Like, I think a lot of people were fearing that he would be gone. And then that fear kind of split itself a little bit. I wouldn't say evenly, but it split itself to, does Mike O'Shea want to go, or do the Bombers want to allow him to go? Because the feeling that I think a lot of people felt was, and just knowing Wade Miller, what he's like as a business person, what he's, he kind of gets his way more often than not. And so I say that to suggest that Mike wasn't going to go anywhere if Wade didn't want him to go anywhere. I kept saying that, in all the shows, saying, I don't know if there's an amount of money that he couldn't cover up, an amount of control he wouldn't have made up for. But at the same time, I think this was just so happens to be, because you compare it to previous negotiation eras under Mike O'Shea, he was usually coming off a Grey Cup victory or a Grey Cup loss. This obviously wasn't that, but all of a sudden it's like other teams want your piece, and now this dulling kind of thing you have all of a sudden has a new shine. Like, what do you mean, like, they want him? And so I felt like it clearly worked in Mike's favor, in that, in a situation that probably would have or should have had less leverage in it, suddenly had a lot of leverage. And that included obviously going to Toronto. And I think that for a lot of people inside the organization and outside the organization, when Mike decided to go to Toronto, to listen and to see what the offer could be or what that situation could look like for him in the future, I think a lot of people were like, I can't even believe he did that. And again, that's not just fans who have seen Mike, build a culture in this team over the last 12 years and bring them to consecutive Grey Cups. This was inside the Bombers organization wondering, is this actually something that could happen? Sure enough, it wasn't. But that didn't stop the panic. Obviously, there's a major relief to it. I think even to those who think Mike's voice might be dulling a little bit, I don't think it's the time to move on now for the Winnipeg Bloomers. They're coming off a bad season. You almost got to be like, you got to right this ship a little bit. You've made some moves in this year. They didn't really pan out. Now you kind of have to figure them out and iron them out. And so I do think there's a little bit, obviously there's some relief, but I do think there isn't as much excitement, to his extension, which we don't still know the details about. And I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if it was 2 years. If you got a 2-year contract rather than his typical 3. Anybody who's followed Mike's career, it's always been 3-year deals. It's always been negotiated at the very end of that 3-year deal. So we'll see here. But obviously the drama, if you will, is now centered around him staying in Winnipeg and not him leaving.
To the game last night, Jeff, and of course, Riders' 5th Grey Cup in history, doing it in Winnipeg, 25-17 over the Alouettes. Just going over Trevor Harris, the completion percentage, highest now in a Grey Cup game, no touchdowns. He's your MOP. Sam Emilus, 10 targets, 10 grabs, 108. The Canadian there. When people go back, and Dave and I talked about it, but when you go back in history, if you were to tell somebody, 10, 15 years down the line, what's Grey Cup 112 and what's the story and how you're kind of shaping it, how would you go about kind of, what's this one defined by or defined as?
I think it fairly or unfairly, it's always defined by the quarterback play, right? I mean, you got Trevor Harris got the MVP and he didn't throw a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like that's interesting in and of itself, especially when you look at a guy like Samuel Emilus, who won Most Outstanding Canadian. He had such a great game. And anyway, I think the defining characteristic, though, is around the two quarterbacks. So if the Montreal Allouettes win, it's the continued rise of Davis Alexander, who is still not lost in the CFL. It's ushering in, whether that's fully true or not, it helps usher in a younger, more, generation, I guess, of quarterbacks and excitement. Like, this is now the top dog, right? He hasn't lost. He brings even more intrigue into the 2026 season, looking for what could be a dynasty kind of run for Montreal. That never happened, right? Like, he threw interceptions, 3 of them. He had a bad efficiency rating. He couldn't get the job done really when it mattered. On the flip side, it was all about Trevor Harris being this, this veteran, this guy who's, can get the ball out quicker than anybody else, whose accuracy is off the charts. And we saw that in the game, but had never won the Grey Cup as a starter. So if anything, this was almost validation and potentially, guys, the ending of Trevor Harris's career. That's the talk now, right? We're talking about a guy who's creeping up to 40 years old, whether or not he's going to play again. So that, I think, is the defining moment of the game, is that one quarterback was able to rise and do it. Neither of them, I thought, even though, of course, Trevor Harris had a good game. He eclipsed 300 passing yards. I didn't think either of them were all that stellar, but both of them had an opportunity to kind of, one, potentially ride into the sunset, and 2, reinforce his dominance in the CFL. And that's what I'll remember. And what I thought was an otherwise kind of sloppy ending, right? That's the other part is the slop at the end.
And keeping it clean, and it's funny, you go to quarterbacks, you can also go to the Tommy Stevens and the Shea Pattersons of the game, where Stevens had 2 touchdowns on 4 rushing attempts, Shea 5 attempts, but the touchdown and that fumble, which, again, it's funny, you talk quarterbacks, we usually think of the starters, but in this game, too, a difference being those short yardage guys.
Jeff, some quick thoughts on Stuart Johnson, his first trip through a Grey Cup as the commissioner of the league. Do you think he leaves Winnipeg as firmly resolved in the changes he announced earlier in the year? I mean, given, I've
the reception was
well, and I maintained that the CFL has problems, to be sure. It doesn't have a football problem. The quality of the play on the field, is high, and the entertainment value of the CFL is high. But what do you think of what Johnson said? And is there a moment of reflection where he thinks that maybe all of these changes weren't necessary, at least at this time?
Yeah, so here's the thing. He apologized for a few different things during his address. Most notably, what he felt was maybe some gray area language talking about there's no guarantees in life. Even when asked about the 4-down question, right? That's obviously what was on everyone's mind is some of these, or maybe all of these changes look to be a more Americanized product. They look to be more similar to the game to our friends to the south of us. But I think, he addressed that. He said, I should have done a better job. He went as far as to saying, like, even describing things as like, there's no guarantees in life is like the approach he would have to his kid, right? Where it's like, you're not really going to be definitive in these kind of things. And I think he recognized that he needed to be definitive in that moment. Because a lot of people, while he was excited and his team was excited about the changes, a lot of people, now there were some people who were like, wow, these changes are amazing right away. People who probably don't have as much of a connection to the Canadian game or to the CFL in general. But I think a lot of people were still kind of almost, I don't want to say shell-shocked, perhaps shell-shocked in some of the prairie provinces just because of, again, their commitment to it. But people were just kind of resonating. And all of a sudden that question was out there with the 4 downs and he's not saying no. Well, you can try to dissect his language in this thing by saying, yeah, he's guaranteeing that they have a 3-down game now and maybe not later. He still said they're guaranteeing that's a 3-down game, right? And that they haven't even thought about that. And I think that would have been a misstep of his from early on. And it was an example of him kind of acknowledging things, right? He acknowledged, the frustration of fans and media alike with the stats and how they are inaccurate. Like, he acknowledged these things, whereas, you always kind of compare him to his, the previous commissioner and Randy Ambrosie. Like, he didn't really own anything, right? He just kind of like, he spoke like, okay, we'll all get together and we'll all figure this out. But it was never like, yeah, we really dropped the ball on this one. So you saw some of that. But to your question, Dave, he ain't apologizing for the changes. Like, it's very clear that he's got a vision. He's not backtracking on it. He's like, they believe in this, and this is the risk. It's the risk in every time a commissioner takes over, right? It was Global 2.0 for Randy Ambrosie. That carried with it a risk. This is Stuart Johnston's risk, and I think that he believes with the people he has, with the vision he has, with his partners at TSN, that they can kind of get to that vision of a more cleaner product, a more product that's invested by for more teams. And part of that announcement was the announcement of new team websites, right? The fantasy football, right? The gambling element. I think those are massive pieces of the puzzle. When he announced those things that they were going to be coming, I think everyone was like, well, is it Genius Sports that's running this thing, right? Like, is it the stats guys that are doing this? And he cleared that up. So anyways, my point in this rant is, I think with Stuart, he was a little bit on the defense mode. He did that thing in his first commissioner address where he did the 20-minute talking and kind of limited questions, which always frustrates people like me because it's like, this was a big one. We didn't need to hear the videos and all the stats. Like, you can give us that sheet of paper. We'll look through it and then, kind of proceed on here to the questions. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I do think Stuart Johnston's a good, passionate commissioner. I do think he carries weight more than I can remember the last ones, maybe even all the way back to Mark Cohen, where he actually, Cohen kind of seemed like he didn't really care because he had money in the bank and whatever. Whereas, like, I think for Stuart Johnston, he's he's not new to this. He's not, he's had a front row seat to it as the president of TSN and what the value is of the league and where it could go. So I think for me, it's always a cautious optimism, not in every situation, but in this situation in particular, I'm cautiously optimistic that he believes this game is for Canadians, wants to grow it in Canada. I just think because of how he rolled out the first changes and who was involved, because that's the other thing he never copped up to. He never talked about like whose idea it was specifically and why it was so important to keep it in a small bubble. How can you trust any of his actions when, the first real thing he's done as commissioner is kind of blindside you with massive changes that he didn't ask you about in the first place.
Great roundup here, Jeff. We appreciate your time. It's President CFL Reporters Jeff Hamilton out of Winnipeg. Thanks for joining us so early. Grey Cup Monday. Get some rest, man. Really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks a lot, and have a great week. We'll talk soon.
Yep.
There it is, Jeff Hamilton joining us. We appreciate his time, putting a bow on the Grey Cup. Really quickly, Hour 3 of the Nielson Show is brought to you by GD Liquidators Auctions and Appraisals. They've just received a large quantity of nice used pallet racking. Mention EST. You get 5% off anything new and or used. Don't miss their monthly online auctions at gdliquidators.com. It's Canadian owned. They're Canadian operated. Make them your first call at 780-447-2787 or check them out 14510 124th Avenue. And should mention portions of Hour 3 for Hammer Injury Law as well. You can visit hammerinjurylaw.ca. Call 1-855-98-HAMMER. Rick Mallet of Hammer Injury Law, 35 years of injury law experience. Don't face your insurance company alone. Contact today for a free consultation and start your injury claim today. Marmot Basin snow report quickly. Trev, you want to bed me in here? Marmot Basin. Once again, their updated opening date is this Friday, November 21. And, of course, we got the deals as well for that opening date. Family package back, discount $289. That runs until December 19th. Kids also can ski free, rent free, and get a free breakfast up until December 19th. You can check that out, Marmot Basin, skimarmot.com for more details. Sully's Casino, Sully Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino, Full Road is where I'll be tonight. We got the Cowboys, we got the Raiders, we also got the Oilers and Sabres as that road trip continues. So a carnival atmosphere. Loaded burgers will be on special. It'll be your next shot to qualify into a draw for a trip for two to Vegas to catch the Broncos Raiders who make that draw on Thursday back at Sully's. But it's time for your pick'em. Once again, courtesy Play Alberta, the Cowboys minus 3.5 on the road in Vegas to take on the Raiders. If you like the Cowboys and then this one, text in Cowboys 780-218-9999. If you like the Raiders to cover the 3.5, text Raiders 780-218-9999. And you could be $25 richer in Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge credits. Let's get into the wrap right now for William Huff. Hangouts on the way. Tom Gazzola. It is Monday. Murray McCourt probably will be in as well, taking you through, recapping the weekend. I'll be back at 11 to noon with the Lock Shop. And Hustler, I'm anxious to see the state he is in.
Oh, yeah.
He's out there partying with Mr. Ritz Kraka and all the other Winnipeg characters and such. Huskin. Yeah, he'll be good.
Hard.
They go hard, yeah. He'll need an extra Diet Pepsi today to get the... But he won't be Lapo quality. He'll be ready to go.
And I noticed that you skirted around the idea that maybe Lapo was taken down by the FRC suite.
I didn't want to put Jeff on the hot
FRC suite.
Yeah, what happens in Winnipeg stays in Winnipeg.
Yes,
you hope. The wrap for William Huff, and you mentioned Bruce and the team
look great.
Look great at Grey Cup. And if you want your place to look like Grey Cup or ours here, check out WilliamHuff.com. In business since 1952. So you know they're incredible what they do. WilliamHuff.com. Gentlemen, what did we learn on today's show?
I learned that Darren Dreger is a Rough Riders fan.
Langenburg, Saskatchewan.
I did not know that. That was news to me. So
he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Oh.
In good standing. Yes, he is a
Langenburg, by the Manitoba border. It's around there, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. I learned that the CFL is okay, is in good shape, and that the Grey Cup endures as one of the best sporting events that this country has done and does. And it is unshakable.
Best party.
It is the best party in this country.
Best party out there. The Kempe deal is official this morning as well. We didn't get time, Dave, to talk about our beloved Mariners and the Josh Naylor extension.
Good signing.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. Yeah, 5-year contract for Naylor and the Mariners there. So a few news and notes. And yeah, once again, Oilers, Sabres tonight. Tom Gazzola, 4 o'clock. GCL Diesel pregame show here. Interrupting the Reed Wilkins show as they're on 3 to 6. Reed Wilkins and Jason Milne will be back 5 to 6, taking you home. And Tommy will be back following tonight's game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Let's get to your text of the day. Have a few contestants for text of the day. Of course, if you win, you're off to Royal Pizza. $20 to Royal Pizza. Royal Pizza still making it great. $20 on the line, and I'll read them off, boys, and we can kind of vote. You can vote as well in the nasty chat today.
Vote along at home.
We have changed 200, I want to say. We're at 191 for a while. We had to have gone over that. Yeah, 208 here, yeah.
Changing 200.
Love it. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dave, as well, for filling in. It's always a joy. Love doing the show with
seeing
you.
you guys.
So the texts are, we got 3 of them. Vote. We'll put it to a somewhat of a loose, just kind of go off vibes here.
We're big supporters of democracy.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't need to be accurate all the time. The runoff. What was that one that we were talking about? Yeah,
Yes,
the
the
runoff.
runoffs.
So text 1 comes in from Dr. Evil. What would it take to get Liam Reddix out of the Belfast Giants? Your head might be turned there, Dave. Yeah. Shua the Broom, probably coming late on this one, but he says Royal Pizza, and you got to read it in the Jingle Boys. Royal Pizza for Fergie's prostate, because Fergie was trying to weasel his way in with the surgery thing earlier. So Shua the Broom saw that, and he used Fergie's prostate injury to try to get his.
Turned it on Fergie, yeah.
An interesting play there from Shua the Broom. Mm-hmm. Then Fergie's prostate comes back. Shea Patterson made great plays for the Riders for the last 2 years. Yesterday was his biggest.
I kind of like that.
He ain't wrong. And if he wins
timely, it's topical.
And he wouldn't win it off his surgery text, he'd win it off this one because it's timely top.
It's a bounce back, like the Oilers. He bounced back.
I think we have to give it to Fergie's prostate. Yeah. Surgery notwithstanding. Just based off the text.
Good luck in that. Hope
absolutely.
Do
We're all
those exercises.
Well, thinking of you. You get out the band and you get on it.
Yes.
Want to thank everyone today. Our guests, Darren Dreger, Mike Tanier, Jeff Hamilton, you just heard there. Dustin Nielson, once again, back tomorrow. Hopefully, it's planes, trains, and automobiles out of Winnipeg. Him and Iwanek. I wonder if I wonder if they're on the same flight. Wouldn't that be something?
Some awkward conversation
pretty
there,
neat.
Right?
Yeah, but they
Between
sit
two friends.
and they yell down the aisle. They're kind of separated by a few rows.
Yeah.
Oh, they could talk shop, business plans and
Lock
stuff
shop.
like that. That's where I'll be, 11 till noon. Yeah. I'll talk to you then. For YouTube, Trev, Dave Jameson, once again, thank you for your time. We'll see you probably sooner rather than later. Yep. I'm Lieutenant Eric. Hangouts coming up next. Keep it locked here on EST. We love you. Talk to you at 11 in the lock shop. Take it easy.